Arizona Sports. Subscribe to the Arizona Sports YouTube channel.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Sleep Number's new collections are designed to adapt to the changing nature of your life and your sleep needs. Whether it's the personalized comfort of the Comfort Mode mattress, the targeted pressure relief of the Comfort Next mattress, or the Climate Collection that actively cools or warms to help you fall asleep and stay asleep.
And now, get early access to our biggest sale of the year. Save 25% on the new Comfort Next Luxe for a limited time. Only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
At Train, tough comes standard. But real strength isn't just muscle. It's knowing when to flex. HVAC units tough enough for the extremes, but smart enough to know what's next. We engineer for chaos, so your home always stays comfortable. Train, built strong, engineered smart. It's hard to stop a train.
Train is a proud sponsor of the Phoenix Children's Hospital and Champions of Hope, helping provide funding for the hospital's care, life-saving research, and families in need.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
After the D-backs-Dodgers game on Friday, August 7th, enjoy a free post-game concert featuring Jayco. Add a concert field pass to your ticket and see the show from the field. Visit dbacks.com/concerts.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620.
And now, an on-air sports marketing presentation. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD-2, and streaming live at ArizonaSports.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
All right, football is officially back, and we are live at Twin Peaks Deer Valley. And for the first time in a long time, we have an actual football game to talk about tonight. Yep. Now, will it look like real football? That's a completely different question. The veterans will most likely be wearing ball caps. The starters will be watching from the sideline. And the game plan will probably fit on the back of one of these Twin Peaks napkins, to be honest with you. Cards, Panthers in Canton. And this is for the young guys and the rookies and the players, well, some rookies, and the players fighting for those final spots on those rosters. And this is anything but meaningless, right? But Carson Beck makes his NFL debut under center, playing behind a backup offensive line without Marvin Harrison Jr. and most of the Cardinal veterans. So what are we looking for tonight? Can Beck command the huddle? Can he handle the pressure? Can we get through his progressions before that backup offensive line collapses around him? And which young receiver or running back takes advantage of the opportunity and makes the coaches pay attention? We will go out to Canton. We'll catch up with Arizona Sports Cardinals reporter Tyler Drake. We'll find out who's playing, who's sitting, if there's been any changes this afternoon. Game starts at 5. We'll have the pregame next to us on the mothership beginning at 2, but we hope that you'll be sticking with us. But if you want to jump over there to hear some pregame, it's over there on Arizona Sports. Then today we got Kansas City Chiefs. They're coming off a 6-11 season. Yeah, 6. Patrick Mahomes is returning from the torn ACL in the LCL, and he insists he'll be ready for week 1. Longtime voice of the Chiefs, who Manuch knows quite well from Kansas State. Mitch Holthus will join us. He joins us to explain how Kansas City can possibly get back on track. We also got former Cardinals defensive lineman Michael Bankston. He will tell us what he's watching during the preseason game. Hands, leverage, from a lineman. The effort and which defensive players are actually winning the one-on-one battles. And then later, Pro Football Hall of Fame voter Howard Balzer will join us again, and he will be joining from Canton and discuss the Hall of Fame class, the Hall himself, and the career and the legacy of Larry Fitzgerald. Plus, D-backs just put up 10 runs and 15 hits against San Diego. We'll follow the money line today, as I'll have that, and I'll have another edition of Roc's Man Vice, and someone will stop by here and get to compete with one of the ladies at Twin Peaks for our Bud Light Peaks picks. Our State 48 Roofing It's Your Call question today: has the Hall of Fame game lost its appeal because hardly any starters play? Yes, replace it with a flag football game, or no, you can still enjoy watching the rookies, free agents, and roster battles. You can always call us 602-230-0620. We are live until 4. Twin Peaks, Deer Valley, come on out, hang out with us, and stay for the football game tonight and enjoy some scratch-made food, wall-to-wall televisions, and the ice-cold 29-degree Michelob Ultras and Bud Lights. But it is Roc and Manuch with you today. We got Laz back at the ESPN 620 studios. So let's go, Manuch. Football is here.
Football is here, and here we go. Again, for Carson Beck, what are you going to give him out there? You're going to lie him to –
Oh, by the way, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Coming up today?
Yeah.
A very short but impactful preseason edition of Manuch's Clipboard Report.
Thank you very much,
And it'll
Roc.
be all Carson Beck.
Yes.
So don't. I wanted to say something.
Don't go anywhere.
Yeah, no. I mean, don't give it all. Don't give all your good stuff right now.
No, guys, I
know you've been waiting.
I got storage.
You've been waiting since the Lombardi Trophy was lifted.
Yeah.
Back in February.
I got cover full. I did a few things in the for the combine. Some of the quarterbacks who were there, I kind of gave a little bit of breakdown. I just hope that they gave Carson Beck at least some second, third teamers, some guys that are decent. And you talked about the offensive
Well, what
line.
else is left?
Well, that's
Four
about
teamers?
it. Well, no. Well, there's a lot of free agents. There's rookies. So when you get rookies on a field or free agents on a field, a couple things you go, do they understand what's going on? Free agents can pick up a lot of things quicker because they're usually veterans. But the rookies, you get those guys out there, it's helter-skelter. It's trying to function and trying to understand by drinking out of a fire hose. And I think for Carson Beck, it's just remain calm, understand what you're doing, and don't try to get out too far ahead of the game. That's the big key.
So do you expect him and then Keaton Slovis, so we won't see Jacoby Brissett,
Sure.
we won't see Gardner Minshew? What do you think about that?
I think
the fact that those two guys aren't playing under this new offense.
I don't agree with it. I would really have liked to seen Jacoby Brissett
just one set it down.
One or two series, maybe one series or two series, and then bring in the rookie, and then maybe Gardner Minshew next week. You bring him in second,
Manuch.
and then you go the third.
Killing me.
Yeah, that's the fresh pot. Did you get a few grinds over there, Roc?
A few. I got 1,000 grinds in my coffee.
We'll
my God.
We'll get a fresh pot.
If you're watching on YouTube, I'm sorry. But, oh, my God, Laz, you should see this.
He swallowed the grind.
That's how Manuch likes it.
Dude,
I don't like it with coffee
like, it looks like an ashtray in there.
Yeah. Well, we'll get a fresh pot for you, Roc. Yeah, that came out about a half hour ago, so who knows?
But what? I mean, I thought the coffee that's supposed to grind these, he's supposed to turn into.
Yeah. Obviously, they
God.
might have brewed it too quick. They pulled it off the pot.
Manuch loves it like that. It's his favorite type of coffee.
And I know one of the owners from Twin Peaks is listening right now, and he's like, hey, make sure you really plug us today, football and all that stuff. I'm like, well, I'm not going to plug the. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, the coffee, bro. We'll get you a fresh. We'll get a fresh.
Not that they sell a lot of coffee here, because I think we're the only ones that ever drink it when we come in here.
By the way, it was hot, so it's the hottest grinds you could ever imagine.
Wow, aren't the grind? Isn't the heat supposed to?
It's supposed to, yeah.
Get rid of the grind?
That's okay. So coffee maker didn't quite coffee make. But to your point, I'd like to see Jacoby Brissett and this first team unit come out for at least 1 or 2 series. And at that point, put Carson back in, let him get his, land legs underneath him, calm his nerves, and then have him play, the rest of the first quarter, second, third. At that point, put Keaton Slovis in. But the way it looks today, it'll be Carson Beck. And it's not such a bad thing that he starts, just to kind of get that feeling. And he may go 2 quarters, and then you might see the second half. You might see Keaton Slovis in the third and fourth quarter. But I think next Thursday, against the Las Vegas Raiders, they definitely got to bring out the first team, get some reps. Then you bring in Gardner Minshew for a few reps. And then at that point in time, you get Carson Beck in for maybe the balance of the third and fourth quarter. And then your third game, your very last, kind of your last dress rehearsal with the first team. Have those guys go at least a good quarter, if that, and then bring your second teamers in, and then again have Carson Beck and Keaton Slovis handle everything. Because, Roc, usually that fourth game, last time I checked, usually it's the third game. The last time I checked, nobody plays in that last preseason game. It's all rookies, it's free agents, guys on the bubble.
It's a money grab.
It's a money, exactly right. It's your third string quarterback. It's your guys that want to get some reps, and then you go from there. Because you're not going to play, if you're not going to play your veterans, you got 2 weeks off until your opening game against the Chargers.
Love's not going today, even though you may have seen on television or online, he wants to play. He wanted to play. He was talking about last Friday, and here we are, and he's not going to play. I know he's the prize rookie, and you don't want to see him do something that's going to jeopardize his season. But, man, he needs the reps, too. Sure. He needs to get hit. He wants to get hit. He wants to see the speed at this level.
And that's why next week you get your starters in play.
So this game is really this is less than an exhibition scrimmage.
It's like a scrimmage. It really is with the guys that are playing. It's a live scrimmage. Everybody's live. How do these guys react? How do they handle the game plan?
So
quasi game plan,
if you will. Coach LaFleur decides to do the same thing next week, what do you say? What's going to be your narrative?
Disappointed. I'd be very disappointed because Roc, they were 3-14 last year. It's a brand new staff.
They won 3 games.
Yeah, they won 3 games. Yeah, it's as if we can kind of rest on our laurels and we can kind of ease into the preseason. You don't have any laurels to rest on. You need to get this brand new system going on offense. You got somewhat the same system on defense with Nick Wallace as your defensive coordinator. So I really think next week it's go time. Go at least 2 or 3 series with the starters on both sides of the ball. And then the following week, do it again, maybe go a good quarter and a half. And then that fourth game, then you pretty much rest everybody. But it's like, guys, you guys have been horrible the last 3 years. You need to get things in gear right now.
All right, your league, your picks, your draft party at Twin Peaks. Get reserved seating, free Wi-Fi, scratch-made food, ice-cold 29-degree drafts. Book your fantasy football draft party today at your local lodge. You have 5 of them here in the Valley. All right, D-backs, they got everything they needed last night. They got a big early swing from Lars and 7 dominant innings from Mitch Brott. You'll hear the key moments, Brott's emotion walking off the mound, and Torey Lovello on why it was such a special night. That's all coming up next right here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B here on ESPN Radio Phoenix.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Hey, Arizona State football fans, London is calling. The Sun Devils are headed across the pond to face Kansas in the inaugural Union Jack Classic, September 19th at Wembley Stadium. It's the first college football game ever played there, and you should be part of it. For tickets, hospitality, and travel packages, visit UnionJackClassic.com or contact the Sun Devil ticket office. Join Coach Dillingham, Sparky, and the Sun Devils in London. Forks up.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
For over a century now, Ford has been part of America. In my family, it's been generations. Paul Calvisi here. My grandfather worked for Ford Motor. My first car, a classic Mustang, still have it. But going to our Desert Ford dealers today means getting more than a vehicle. We're talking a full suite of benefits like complimentary Ford mobile service or try Ford pickup and delivery. Yes, to and from your door, and it's easy scheduling in the Ford Pass app. Tough would be built Ford tough. More than a slogan, it's an identity of the F-Series trucks, and the all-new 2026 F-150 is the best yet, with a completely redesigned interior and exterior. Adventure? How about the Ford Bronco Sport? It says, let's get it, with 5 available trims so you can forge your own path. We recently bought a new Explorer at our Desert Ford dealers. Love the flexible seating up to 7. All the cargo room, the advanced tech. Bottom line, Ford is the future at our Desert Ford dealers. Just click buyfordnow.com.
Now, it's time for our Replay Rewind. The top sounds of the night and whatever Rock decides to add. Let's get to it in Replay Rewind with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620 and on FM at 98.7 HD-2.
The 1-2. Swung on and punished. Out to deep left. This thing is long gone. Home run for Tawa. That's his 6th. And the Diamondbacks double their lead. It's 2-0.
How about 10 runs last night? Not bad, not bad. And they take the series. Well, not quite.
Padres win tonight. It'll be split series. They're 2 games up of the Padres in that wild card
Wishful
race.
thinking.
Yeah.
I used to, Thursday's always used to been an off day for baseball in a lot of ways. But all right, we got some sound to get into as the Diamondbacks were looking for their first hit and their first breakthrough of the night. And Lars Nootbaar delivered both with one swing in the bottom of the 4th.
There's the 0-1. Runner goes. Swung on. Ripped on a line. Past the dive of Tatis. That's into right field. A base hit. Locklear scores. Waldschmidt already at 3rd. And the first RBI for Nootbaar puts the D-backs ahead 3-0.
While the offense was building the lead, Mitch Brott was completely shutting down the other side. Here he is finishing the 7th inning with his 9th strikeout of the night.
1-2. Got him swinging. Mitch Bratt, what a performance. 9 strikeouts, 7 shutout innings. Take a bow, kid. That's one heck of an effort.
And only 1 hit allowed. And then you could see exactly what the performance meant to him. And after recording that final out in that 7th, as you just heard, Rod walked off the mound absolutely fired up.
I honestly couldn't feel my legs, to be honest with you. I was so fired up. I kind of knew that was the end of it. So when I was walking off the mound, I heard the song I was playing, some Rush, a Canadian band, so I was pretty fired up for that too.
And how about that? A rookie record for rookie pitcher for Bratt. 7 innings. You mentioned the 1 hit, 9 strikeouts. And you think about some of the guys that have come through. I think of the one guy I think of was Max Scherzer. And looking back on his rookie record before he got traded off to the Nationals, and then he moved on to Detroit. But what a great gem he threw. A lot of curveballs, sliders. He had guys swinging at balls. And I got to tell you what, if there's a young man that's got a promising future as well as hopefully we can see the consistency out of Mitch Bratt. I think that was a good glimpse of what this young man can do. And only 7 innings, 92 pitches, very effective as far as keeping the ball around the plate.
After the game, Torey Lovello talked about Bratt's performance and why the night was so meaningful.
Pretty special night for Mitch. And they're in there celebrating him right now. Get his first major league win against that type of an offensive team. 7 super clean innings, 1 hit. A lot was going right for him. There was some swing and miss. He got back into counts. I talked about putting the ball on the plate. I know that there was a few walks in there, but much improved with being able to make adjustments pitch to pitch. Having McCann back there, I'm sure was a little bit of a comforting factor for him. There were some wrinkles that were thrown in there that typically, I don't think the experienced catcher. Sorry. There were some wrinkles thrown in there because of the experience that James brought into that environment, and there was immediate trust. And Mitch went out there and just continued to pump strikes, and it was a nice day.
You think about that and just the calmness and understanding the hitters and having that veteran catcher back there to do that, what Torey said right there. But how about Moreno and McCann both in the lineup? Gabby is the DH, been one of the hottest hitters coming off of the 2-day paternity leave, with his wife having their second child. And then McCann in there, who's also been hot, was 0 for 5 last night. But just to be that calming influence or just that understanding of this Padres hitting team that had 15 hits the night before, and they beat you 8-4. But lo and behold, Ginkel comes in and gives up 4 runs in that 9th inning. But there's Paul Sewald to come in and get that final out. But again, you're going, you just think they could get 10 runs in 1 inning. Suffice to say they didn't get it done. But Ginkel really struggled and got pulled in the 9th inning for Sewald to come in for 1 out.
All right, doing our replay rewind, which is brought to you by Lerner & Rowe. Well, Larry Fitzgerald, he spent, of course, his entire NFL career here in Arizona, became the face of the Cards, and has built a legacy that has extended beyond the catches and the touchdowns. Coming up, Fitz explains why staying in with one franchise mattered and what he is most proud of when he looks back. Because we live in an era where players, they change teams. They always change teams. And Larry Fitzgerald spent his 17 years in the NFL all with Arizona. And here he is explaining what it meant to represent one organization and one community for his entire career.
I think the thing that, you look at the guys who've gotten here, and there's not a ton of players, especially in the modern era, that have been able to play in the same place their entire career. And it takes 2 to tango, obviously. Your wife didn't marry you just because you wanted to marry her. She wanted to marry you. It takes 2 to tango. And so, having a great ownership group with Mr. Bidwell and Michael, my career, allowed me to finish my career. It meant a lot to me. And, to be able to say that Arizona is now my home and my community, that's a blessing to be able to have that, and I'm very thankful. And there's not a day that goes by that I'm not aware of it, and it's not something I think about.
He might be one of the few pro athletes that the fans were hoping he might go somewhere else and try to get a championship because of his loyalty with the Cardinals. It's like, Larry, thank you for all you've done. Move on. Go get your championship. Go get your accolades and flowers from other teams, and go make more money. But I think Larry's one of those rare brands that he's committed to the community. His 3 boys were here, wanted to be here while they were still here as far as raising them. And then I'm sure that he probably had a hometown discount from sticking around. But just being part of an organization part of a scenario where he could be comfortable, be with his family, and just try to take this team and get this team and help them get beyond just one Super Bowl. So you just tip your hat to a guy that just says, hey, there's more important things than money. Yeah, he'd like to win championships, but community, the team commitment, and his family were really a big part of Larry Fitzgerald sticking around for 17 years with this Cardinals organization.
And the numbers, they speak for themselves. But when Larry was asked what made him most proud, his answer went beyond the statistics and the individual accomplishments.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done in the community, the organizations we partner with. I'm proud of the relationships I've developed with my teammates, coaching staff, administration, media. Like, those things are what I really think about. Not often do I think about the catches and the touchdowns. I think about the authenticity of the relationships I was able to develop.
His philanthropic endeavors have reached beyond. It's amazing. At times you wonder, while he was playing, he'd have his cooking thing at the steakhouse, all the other things he does. I mean, there's a lot of things we don't even realize that Larry Fitzgerald is doing, but that's really the heart and soul of Larry Fitzgerald, just to be so committed with his philanthropy and the things that he does and reaches out. And, he learns so much. He talks a lot about his mom and what she instilled in him as far as giving back, as far as being good to people. And his dad, Larry Sr., too, is, hey, grow in a community. Don't just go to a community and play. Go and grow in a community. And that's what Larry Fitzgerald has done for so many years and continues to do that.
Today's Replay Rewind is brought to you by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. Interact, need a check, make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. The Arizona Diamondbacks have signed former Pittsburgh Pirate closer Dennis Santana to a minor league deal. He saved 16 games last year for the Pirates before had to take a step back. So they signed him to a minor league deal yesterday, and he had a 2.18 ERA with the Pirates last season after taking the rollover after he was traded I think he was with the Yankees at one time. But he was released on July 29th, so good pickup.
That is a good pickup. Experienced guy, low ERA.
No, he wasn't with the Yankees. Excuse me, that was wrong.
And those are some of the things you look for. If you can send him down and get him some work, get him back up to speed, and if things seem to falter, it seems as though Garcia seems to be the closer now. I mean, the closer from that particular standpoint.
So just so I stand corrected, because I was right the first time. He's with the Dodgers, Rangers, Yankees, and Mets before landing with Pittsburgh.
And he's got experience. Those are some of the things that as they get toward
you never
the
know, a guy
September,
like that, we've seen it before where a guy takes a step back and gets some time off, and you find the right pitching coach, the right atmosphere, and who knows, maybe this could work out, and you can see him back up there, and maybe he's not the closer. I think D-backs are okay there, but maybe he's the 7, maybe he's the 8.
Well, he might be, and I think if they do make the wild card, he's again the experience of him coming in and having that experience as far as playoffs are concerned, experience as far as, to your point, whether he comes in the 8th or the 9th, or if your arms are tired out there in the bullpen, he'll have that opportunity to come in and pretty much close guys out, save guys, or he could be one of those not so much long reliever, but if you need a guy to get a couple outs out, is he a righty or a lefty, Santana? Does it say?
He's a righty.
He's a righty. So I think that I like the move because of experience. I like the move that he's got the low ERA, and I also like the move that if they get into last 2 weeks of the season trying to make the playoff spot, or when they get in the playoffs, he's got the experience.
So tonight, Cardinals and Panthers, Canton, Ohio, and this will be on NBC beginning at 5 o'clock. It's Mike Tirico, Chris Collingsworth, Melissa Stark on the broadcast. Of course, on the radio side on 98.7 or the Arizona Sports app, AQ Shipley, and looking forward to hearing the newest.
Well, he's going to be back for he'll be
Danny
here.
Shurik?
JP Sharrick.
Yeah, JP
Shadrick. I'm sorry, Shadrick.
Shadrick.
Yeah, JP Shadrick.
He's
going to
doing
be
the play-by-play.
No, he'll start next week. So I don't know if Calvisi's doing it today. He's going to make his appearance, I believe, against the Raiders. So tonight, I imagine probably
Yeah, I don't know.
Calvisi.
Well, you're going to have to just tune in. You'll find out. 'Cause I'm sure Calvisi will have his hand in something. And JP, who knows if they got him already in there. I don't know. Who's Danny Shurik?
She's a young gal they've had on the
She's
sideline.
a sideline girl,
Yeah,
right?
she'll be sideline. I guess she's doing the sidelines. And,
So Shipley and Shurik are there. And
Yeah.
then, so Calvisi, all right, good. All right.
yeah, because I think JP will be going next week. He'll get it all going next
She
week.
had
We'll
been
try to get
doing
him
like
on.
the Red Sea Report and Big Red Rage and a lot of those Cardinals talk shows, and then
Cool.
she did some of the sideline stuff. But now she got a little bit of a promotion, so good for her.
Yeah, it's good to see that. All right, good stuff. We're out here at Twin Peaks in Deer Valley, right off the 17, and what about 20th Street? What do you call this right here?
About 22nd Avenue. Yeah, we're on the Avenue side.
This is
So
the avenue.
it's about 22nd or 23rd Avenue. So we're due east off of Yorkshire and the 17. Go east and then go north.
All right, here's the thing about Hall of Fame, the Hall of Fame game. The roster sheet is the story, right? Carson Beck makes his NFL debut under center. Veterans in front of him are almost certainly staying in ball caps. And the third-round pick isn't overall. He's going to play. Tyler Drake, the Cardinals reporter and editor of Arizona Sports, he's on the ground in Canton. And we'll catch up with him. Everything you need to know before kickoff. That's next. But first, here's Laz with the Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Sports Update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The D-backs bounced back in a big way last night, beating the Padres 10-4 behind an offensive outburst and 7 stellar innings from rookie Mitch Bratt, who picked up his first major league win of his career. The Snakes will look to take 3 of 4 from San Diego tonight, with first pitch from Chase Field set for 6:40 p.m. And over on the gridiron, the NFL preseason officially gets underway tonight as the Arizona Cardinals take on the Carolina Panthers in the Hall of Fame game from Canton, Ohio. Kickoff is set for 5 o'clock, and you can catch all that action on 98.7 FM, also streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. Football is back tonight, and Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B are live from Twin Peaks, Deer Valley, right now until 4. Come hang with us, then stay for the first preseason game of the year. Scratch-made food, wall-to-wall TVs, and ice-cold 29-degree drafts.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Being in an auto accident is traumatic. You need to call the best law firm that has the experience to get you the best results. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Hey, it's Jimmy B. Football season is here, and there's never been a better time to grow your business. Partner right now with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, with live endorsements, show sponsorships, featured segments, remote broadcast, and so much more. YouTube, social media, and commercials, all built around your goals and your budget. Visit rocandmanuch.com and click advertise. Let's grow your business together.
Bigger fields, bigger events, bigger experiences. Arizona Athletic Grounds. Arizona Athletic Grounds is a 275-acre sports and entertainment destination for athletes, fans, and families. Located in Mesa, AAG is one of the largest multi-sport complexes in the country, with over 475,000 square feet indoors and more than 150 fields and courts. From tournaments to training to cheer, dance, concerts, and corporate events, the grounds does it all. Learn more at azgrounds.com.
Are you looking for career opportunities with great benefits and job growth? How about the chance to make an impact? What we do here at the City of Phoenix matters. 14,000 employees and counting, all dedicated to making a difference in the communities where they live, work, and play. So come join us. Help us do work that makes Phoenix work. You can see all open positions and apply at phoenix.gov/jobs. This message is sponsored by the City of Phoenix.
Life can throw a lot your way. For some, that includes first episode psychosis, or FEP. It can feel overwhelming, like hearing or seeing things that aren't there, or feeling disconnected from reality. The good news? FEP can be treated. Recovery can include medication, therapy, and support from peers. There are programs across Arizona with people who understand and are ready to walk with you. It all starts with one click. Visit learnmorefep.org. Sponsored by MacForce, working to build healthier communities.
Hey, since you're already listening and you already know about it, why don't you tell a friend in Arizona that the all-new ESPN radio lineup can be heard right here. This is where Arizona connects to the worldwide leader in sports, ESPN 620.
Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, ESPN 620. It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Deer Valley, located in the Deer Valley Town Center. Twin Peaks, the home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
Three receivers front to the left. Beck is looking that way. And still looking. Sitting back with his legs. With Miami on top. Right.
All right, that's Carson's back to game-winning touchdown against Ole Miss.
Running it in.
Yeah, that was a hell of a game. And all right, joining us now from Canton, Ohio, not too far from Cleveland, Tyler Drake, Arizona Sports Cards reporter and editor and co-host of the AZ Cards Corner. He joins us now on the Right to a guest line here on ESPN Radio Phoenix. Tyler, what's going on, buddy? You got a pretty cool gig today. How much fun is this for you?
Oh man, guys, it's crazy. Obviously, yeah, there's the work side to it, and it's a grind. We're trying to find those angles that nobody's talking about. But outside of that, let me tell you, walking up to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, I had goosebumps. It was so cool just being a fan of football growing up. I mean, that's why I do what I do. I love the game, and just being able to walk in there and then going up to where all the busts are, that was such a cool moment of just in awe of kind of everything that's going on. It's truly a cool encapsulation of just everything NFL. And I mean, there's a lot. I'm going to go back there tomorrow. I felt like I did a couple of laps, and I felt like I still missed stuff. So going to go get some more content tomorrow down there. But for right now, yeah, we're chatting with you, and then we're probably getting ready to head to the game and get set up in the press box and watch something happen.
Yeah, is this your first time in Canton at the Hall of Fame?
Yep, never been here before.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, I've been fortunate. I went to school in Ohio, so yeah, went up there a few times. But yeah, you're right, dude. There's nothing like it, right? I mean, it's hard to explain. I use the analogy that, if you haven't been at Augusta, for the Masters, it's in there. It's in that league, right? I mean, it's up there where it's you're very fortunate to be able to go to a place like that, and just like Cooperstown is similar too, but it's the history, right? I mean, it's I don't even know how to explain it because it's just so awesome. You just want everybody to go see it for themselves.
Yeah, no kidding. So I'm trying to get as much as I can inside so I can kind of show everybody kind of a walk through, like a point of view almost of what I'm seeing. I'm trying to go find the Cardinals where I can find the Cardinals. But yeah, just being able to see some of the stuff and see some of the moments and see Trey McBride, he's got his jersey in there for setting records. Yeah. And you've got, obviously you've got Larry's locker with his, Pro Bowl jersey, his first Pro Bowl jersey, his first Pro Bowl helmet, his rookie jersey with the Arizona flag on the side. So it's been such a cool experience. And, just seeing some of these guys kind of walk up, it's like, oh, that guy's wearing a gold jacket. Who's that? And it's just been such a cool experience.
So are you putting everything up at T Drake for Sports? Are you getting everything up on your Instagram and things of that sort so people can follow you over the next couple of days?
Yep, absolutely there. And then we'll have a bunch of stuff on Arizona Sports. We've kind of been trickling it out today. I got actually a really cool thing I'm working on, a little man on the street action where, my thing was everybody calls Larry Legend, but I wanted another word to associate with Larry. So I kind of went through, found some Cardinals fans that gave me some great answers. So really looking forward to putting that all together and showing you guys that too, because it's just a celebration. And that's the coolest part. It's like you talk to all these Cardinals fans and it's not so much about the game. It's not so much about what this team is doing this year. It's all Larry, and I think that is just the encapsulation of what you want this week to be. Obviously, there's football, but when you really get down to it, this is really the Cardinals Super Bowl, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. This is the moment where if you're at home, you better turn on the TV and watch that induction. If you say you are a Cardinals fan, you have to. It's one of those moments where you cannot pass by, take for granted. Everyone should be glued to hear what he has to say, because I am very interested to hear what his speech is.
Tyler Drake joining us here, Arizona Sports, here on Roc and Manuch. All right, so we got to do a little work, right? So I'm assuming you just have it right there. You can tell us who's dressing tonight and who's in street clothes, right? You can tell us that, right?
I could probably tell you who's not.
Yeah. And what's your thought on that? What is your thought on that? I mean, we're having this discussion as the guys next door are too on who should play, who should not play. I mean, are you looking at this? Okay, they got 4 games. This is just a scrimmage, and then next week is when it really gets going.
Honestly, I think for me, the one person I wanted to see take the field tonight was Carson Beck, and he got the start. I wanted him to get the start. Like, I think if anybody's going to benefit this preseason, it's going to be him the most. Just getting those reps in. Yes, it's preseason. Yes, you're not scheming. Yes, it's vanilla, but you're still getting the reps in. You're still getting play in, play out. You're still getting your cadence down. You're still getting in and out of the huddle. Like, he's got to nail down the little things as much as he can before we get to the live bullets in the regular season. So that's really where I start. It's like the guys that absolutely need it. Does Jeremiah Love need a series? Probably, but not until probably the last game of preseason or somewhere down the line. Like, again, this is a bonus game. So I think it is more so like, hey, let's treat it as a scrimmage. Let's get through with no injuries and really keep going, because there's still, I mean, it's kind of weird now because it's a full season back in the day, but there's still 3 games to play after this. So it'll be interesting. But, yeah, I start with Carson Beck. The more he can play this preseason, the better. Give him a half of football every game. That's my take.
Tyler, from what you've been watching at practice, and all we can really watch is the tapes that come on at night, and a lot of the stuff you're posting, a lot of the guys are posting out there. For you, with him starting this game, what have been some of the things that he seems to have a good grasp of as far as throwing and moving around the pocket and accuracy? And what are some of the things you think he struggled with going into this game?
Yeah, I think coming into camp, the biggest thing was his accuracy. It was rough. Without the pads on, he was missing guys left and right. It felt like anything beyond 5 yards was a chore. As soon as the pads came on, though, I felt like he really took a step forward. I thought his timing and his footwork was a lot better. He's been able to zip the ball. I don't think the arm strength question is really a question at this point. And he's consistently just taken another step. He just looks more comfortable right now. And I think the added point to his game is like, yeah, he will tuck it and run if he needs to. And we've seen that a little bit. And I'm really interested to see if he does it here, because he's found some holes and has got some chunk yards. So I would say it's more the confidence of it and really just being on timing and getting the guy the rock, because he's had a couple of passes in red zone work that really are threading the needle. Bryson Green has been a standout for him, Devin Duvernay too, but like Xavier Weaver, like there's a lot of guys making plays, but he's also got to put the ball there. So I've been impressed with how he's kind of taken that next step, because after the first 4 practices, I was like, oh man, this guy has a lot to do. There's no wonder why Jacoby Brissett was paid that money and he's going to be the week 1 starter, because they clearly need somebody in there to start. And now you see what Beck is doing. Hopefully he can continue to build, and then we'll get to the regular season.
And I think you want to have success with him out there. So I would assume that the second team line will probably be in there. And as far as running back, Love won't play. I assume Algier won't play. Connor's not going to play. Will Trey Benson play tonight? Because all you have left, Tyler, is Benson if he plays. If not, all you have is Bam Knight and Corey Kiner. I mean, yeah, that's it.
I'm thinking that's what it's going to be. Mike LaFleur did not seem very optimistic when he was talking about Trey Benson and his injury. Said, he wouldn't be surprised if he didn't play. So I'm looking at that as Bam Knight's probably starting and Corey Kiner's probably right behind him, and that's how they're going to roll. I know that they claimed a guy recently, but I don't know how fast he got into the playbook or what. So it could be a lot of Bam Knight tonight.
I think that the guy you're talking about, Evan Hull, I believe, is the guy that they just picked up. Receiving wise, you got pretty much everybody sitting. I can imagine Weaver and Duvernay and Fehoko will kind of be, I would hope, in the fold. But do you see where I'm getting at, Tyler? I hope they don't just put they put some guys out there that can run the plays, are quasi decent players, to see what kind of success Carson Beck has or not.
Yeah, exactly. So there is a caveat there. But, hey, again, like his connections with some of these guys have been good. And, yes, I know it's practice. I know they're going against the defense that they know pretty well now. But there's been some moments where it's like Bryson Green's out there making plays. Reggie Virgil, the rookie, had a Odell Beckham Jr.-esque catch the other day. And it's crazy to even put those in a sentence. But some of these guys are starting to show out, and I think wide receiver room is one of the more deeper rooms of just competition-wise. Like, there's a lot of guys popping. I mean, I mentioned Devin Duvernay. Amir Smith-Marsette's another guy who's really second in line for the return game and also getting a little bit of run with the ones as a wideout. So there's there's a lot of playmakers still in this unit. It's just you don't really know them. They're not household names. It's a 5th round rookie, but I will tell you, Reggie Virgil's coming off the best day of camp I've seen from him all year.
So, Tyler, when you look at the defense, obviously the first team looks like they're not going to play. What are some of the holes that Mike LaFleur and Nick Rawls, as his defensive coordinator, are looking to try to encapsulate during this preseason? Not so much this game, but overall in the preseason, maybe kind of build up to that to maybe fill those holes.
Yeah, you got to start with the guy. You're looking at defensive line because yes, Walter Nolan is looking like the guy. He had that little bit of a knee issue, but worked through that. Darius Robinson looks like he's taking a step, but you still don't know because hey, Calais Campbell isn't here anymore. Like you've got to be able to have guys that can step up and take that next step. So I'm looking at D-line, looking at some guys who can maybe come in and fill that. Andrew Billings is probably the biggest dude on the field right now, and if he can take a step forward as that nose tackle, him and Roy Lopez are going to go back and forth a lot. Looking at inside linebacker, that looks pretty set too. You've got Mac Wilson, you've got Cody Simon, you got Jack Gibbons, who, that's a solid trio. Safety looks just as good too. Andrew Wingard stepped up. So for me, I'm starting down in the defensive line. You've got to be able to stop the run. You've got to be able to do it on a consistent basis, and you have to be able to do it against a team, not the Cardinals, because I think that's one thing that has to be said is yes, Darius Robinson is popping. I think some other guys are popping on the line. You also have to take into account what they're going up against. That offensive line, the right side, still is an issue. They've got. I'm really curious to see if they can get pressure on the quarterback tonight and get pressure on the quarterback throughout the preseason, because it's going to be one of those things of how much is this about the defensive line being good or the offensive line struggling. So I'm really starting at the D-line because they've got to. If they can lock that down and stop the run, I think everything else is really going to blend well.
My last one for you. What's the latest on Josh Sweat?
Oh, well, the Mike LaFleur says he does still expect him to be there week 1. I do think it's very odd that we had been told that he continually was working on his own to only still see him on the PUP list. It is very, very, very odd. I will say that for sure. Maybe there is something going on behind the scenes, but also it's I don't really know if you can manipulate the PUP quite like that. So it's such a weird kind of situation right now. The fact that they're still confident he's going to be there week 1, just get him on the field. We need to see him out there because I've only seen him one day, just kind of standing around. Other than that, I have not seen him. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this all plays out when it gets resolved. We can finally start talking about him being on the edge and not off the field.
All right, Tyler, my last one. When you're watching this game, you got the biggest names on the roster wearing ball caps right on the sideline. So what is the number one position group or maybe individual battle that you're going to be tracking to see who maybe is going to kind of maybe separate themselves? Position group or individual battle? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for one, I'm looking at Carson Beck. I'm not looking for what he does on the stat line. I'm looking for the little things. Like I said, how his cadence is, play in and play out. Can he get in and out of the huddle? Can they avoid pre-snap penalties? Can they just look smooth? I think that's the number one thing for this rookie right now is make everything smooth. Don't make it a chore. Don't shoot yourself in the foot trying to get things together. Get the line together. Get everybody on the same page. Then battle-wise, I'm looking at the wide receivers room, and I'm looking at the cornerbacks room because if some guys can keep going, Elijah Jones in the cornerbacks room, Max Melton, I don't know if he plays, but if he is, he's another guy. He's going up against Denzel Burke for that CB2 role, but there's been some guys. Keitrell Clark had a really good day. They've stepped up and it started to make some plays, but now can they do it against another team? So I'm looking cornerbacks room and I'm looking wide receivers room because, like I said, multiple guys on the back end of that roster are really starting to pop, and there's gonna be a lot of tough decisions because a guy like Xavier Weaver, he can give you some stuff in the return game. He's also popping off as a red zone target. He has probably more touchdowns in camp in the red zone than anybody else, which is just a wild thing to say, just compared to what you have on the roster. But there's gonna be tough decisions to make because, like I said, Smith Marset, you've got some other guy. There's a lot to sift through if you're the Cardinals trying to make roster decisions right now.
He's Tyler Drake, Arizona Sports Cardinals reporter, editor, co-host of AZ Cardinals Corner, and he is in Canton. So make sure you follow him at TDrake4, the number 4 Sports, and on the Arizona Sports app. Tyler, thanks for jumping on with us on the road, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem, guys. Thanks for having me.
Tyler Drake joining us here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN Radio Phoenix, and he's brought to you today by All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company. Whether you're stranded or need professional transport, All City Towing has the experience to get the job done right, and they do it 24/7, 365 days a year. They're hiring, too. Drivers, dispatchers, and much, much more. So if you're looking to join a winning team, just head to allcitytowing.com. All right, a little preseason edition of Manuch's Clipboard Report is coming up. All about Carson Beck. That's next. And then the voice of the Kansas City Chiefs. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. From Twin Peaks, Deer Valley. Twin Peaks, your ultimate sports lodge.
Living in the Valley of the Sun means we're always battling the heat on the golf course, at work, or just getting through the day. To stay sharp, you need more than energy. You need hydration. You need Phoenix Hydration Energy, spelled Phoenix, like the city we love. Phoenix gives you clean, natural energy from green tea, plus 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. No crash, no junk, just pure performance. Grab Phoenix Hydration Energy today at 7-Eleven, Quick Trip, or Circle K. Phoenix Hydration Energy. Rise up.
Lace up for a great cause. Join the 33rd annual Frank Cush Youth Foundation Running for the Broads on Saturday, October 10th at Tempe Beach Park during the Four Peaks Oktoberfest. Every step helps support youth athletics, including girls flag football, Lady Hawk softball, the Frank Cush Scholarship at ASU, Tempe Sister Cities, and kids throughout our community. Register, donate, or volunteer today at Oktoberfest.run. That's Oktoberfest.run. Run, give back, make a difference.
Rock for WrightToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
Looking for a new ride? Make the right choice. Ride Honda in Scottsdale. Whether you're shopping for a fuel-efficient Civic, a family-friendly CRV, the rugged Passport, or the all-new Accord, Ride Honda has the selection, value, and customer service Arizona drivers trust. Plus, their experienced service team is here long after the sale. Visit the showroom on Scottsdale Road just south of Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard or shop anytime at RightHonda.com. That's RightHonda.com, where Arizona drives. Right Honda.
When it's game time in the Valley, you know what time it is. It's Twin Peaks time. Head to Twin Peaks with 5 Valley locations and massive screens everywhere you look. From basketball, baseball, to hockey, fights, and more, there's no better place to catch every play and all the action. Bud Light is a proud partner of sports fans everywhere. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
Are you a dementia caregiver? Perhaps you care for your spouse, family member, or friend. Whoever it is, being a dementia caregiver can build relationships and test them. I'm Bill, and I want to thank you for the care you have provided. I've faced similar situations, so I'm speaking on behalf of the Dementia Society of America, a nonprofit organization. Request our free guide filled with tips on care, planning, and much more. Go to 1-800-DEMENTIA.org or call 1-800-DEMENTIA. Thank you.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B want to take you back. A quick reflection on some of the more memorable moments in sports and pop culture. Now, time for your Right Toyota on this day report. Right Toyota, right on the corner, right on the price. Right Toyota in Scottsdale.
All right, on this day in sports history, I'm not like Jimmy B and Manuch when I'm not here. They like to read off 100 of them, right? I like to just give you
2 or 3.
Whatever.
That's all.
And it's like the whole segment because they can't fill it with content.
Because we have history behind those days.
But for today, I can't resist because there's 5 or 6 major milestones on this day for whatever reason. And I'll go back to 1890. Cy Young makes his major league debut, and he throws a 3-hitter. Okay. And then Hank Aaron hits his 660th and 661st, passing Babe Ruth for the most home runs ever hit with one franchise. Then I got to go to Goose Gossage recording his 300th career save, second pitcher in history to get there. Same day, Jose Canseco becomes the 11th player to go 30 home runs and 30 steals. And then I'm going to jump around. I'm going to go back to 52. Satchel Paige, at 46 years old, becomes the oldest pitcher in Major League Baseball history to throw a complete game. And then 99, Tony Gwynn collects his 3,000th career hit, a Padre for 20 seasons and only one franchise when we talk about Larry Legend. And then finally, Tiger Woods, 2006, his 50th PGA Tour win, making him the youngest golfer ever to reach the milestone.
Wow.
So there you have it on this day.
August 6th, and happy birthday to Pops. Hope you're having a great birthday up there in heaven. August 6th, the big day for Dan Manucci Sr. It's being a great day.
All right, so there you have it. Let's get to football at 50, which is presented by Twin Peaks, your ultimate sports lodge, and Michelob Ultra and Bud Light. But something we do on Tuesdays, and I'm off on Tuesdays, and I'm so glad I am because it's probably my least favorite segment that we do. We've been doing it for about 15 years. It's something that Manuch was very good at when he was a professional football player. He held the clipboard. So we created this thing about 15, 16 years called Manuch's Clipboard Report. We even have it open for it, I think. And if Laz has it, we'll get it. This is our preseason edition. And typically, Manuch will just kind of, break down different quarterbacks. But today we're going to just have one. And one thing you'll notice over the course of this football season, if you're tuning in on Tuesdays, there's really nothing to this clipboard report. I mean, there's no, criteria. He throws it all out.
Yeah.
You can be the player of the week by throwing 3 interceptions and losing the game, and you can become the player.
No.
I mean,
No
you don't
losers.
you don't have to win. You don't have to win a game to be on this list. So it's very important. So with that being said, this is our preseason edition of the clipboard report.
Fire it off there, Laz.
Time for Manuch to do what he does best. Hold the clipboard.
As Manucci takes, slides, hit, keeps the ball 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15. He called in from behind at the 10-yard line. Manucci was wondering when he run out of gas or run out of field. And he did a little of both.
Manuch dives into last weekend's quarterback play across the NFL. It's Manuch's Clipboard Report, exclusively on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
Again, we run that during the football season. We have the same clip, the same one, him running out of bounds.
By the way,
how many yards did you run that
I went
time?
81 yards.
On the ground. Why couldn't you have thrown it?
Because it was
You're a
wide
quarterback.
I came down the veer option, and the Red Sea opened up, or the Purple Sea, I should say, at K-State. I went down there, and God rest his soul, the great Leroy Irvin with the Rams, played for KU, caught me from behind as that bear jumped on my back.
Keep talking, Manuch. Just cuts into your
No.
clipboard report.
That's a clip.
So I wrote some questions down, and we'll start with this one. Carson Beck. The spotlight's on him tonight. Veterans are out, though. But from a quarterback perspective, what is the number one? I just want one.
Okay.
One thing you want to see him command under this live pressure for the first time in the NFL.
Take care of the football. Take care of the ball. Don't force the issue. Take care of it when you run. Don't force it into coverage. It's okay to throw it out of bounds. It's okay to take the sack. So the number one thing I want to see is ball security, how he handles that particular avenue when the pressure's on and the heat is on.
All right, he's playing behind a backup offensive line. We always know this offensive line is always one of the worst in the league, so imagine what the backup is. So as a quarterback, how much does this kind of mess with your internal clock and your ability to actually go through your progressions?
Read, react, throw quickly. So I think he understands. I may have maybe 10 to 12 pass plays, 5 or 6 running plays, understand what you're going to do, but knowing what you just said, if it's a 3-step drop out, get the ball out, read it, react. If you feel the pressure, just get in the habit of just throwing the ball away. And if you do move up in the pocket, get your eyes down the field. Look to throw the ball first before you run. So that's when I see with pressure in his face, how he reacts.
All right, Beck won't have Marvin Harrison Jr. on the field tonight. So which bubble guy do you think needs to step up and maybe there's a guy that he's going to create some chemistry with that we may see over the course of the season?
Tyler Drake just talked about the rookie out of Wisconsin, the Bryson Green kid. Hopefully Weaver will be in there. Fehoko will be in there. And in reference to your tight end, I don't know what tight end is going to play, if it's Elijah Higgins or Yobo. But look to utilize your tight end early on. But I think if you can develop the chemistry with Fehoko, and Devernay is another kid too. But I like the Bryson Green kid, the rookie out of Wisconsin.
Coach LaFleur with the Rams as their offensive coordinator, they led the league averaging over 30 points a game last year. So we expect, I think, as fans, to see the Cardinals opening up the offense. And with that being said, during preseason, the actual playbook, how much will they see? Will you see any?
I think what you want are our routes are deep to underneath. So I think there may be 10 to 12 pass plays. So there's also adjustments in those pass plays. So it could become, if you have 10, it could amount to 15 or 16. Don't want to overload the kid because you don't want them thinking too much. You want them to react. And then running plays, I think it's, like I said, 5 or 6 running plays. But I would like to see them stretch the field. Okay. We haven't seen this Cardinals team stretch the field in 3 years. So you've got the ability. I want to see some shots down the field. And then I want to see a little bit of a controlled passing game early on to get him some confidence.
All right, last one. If Beck lights it up, Manuch, lights it up, does that actually shift the momentum of the depth chart, or you think he's locked in?
He's still third string guy. Okay. He's still third string guy. The other guys will play.
That's Manuch's Football Report, Tuesdays during the NFL season. I even think we got a sponsor this year.
Oh, hallelujah.
Yeah, the Hub. Yeah, so we'll
nice.
talk about that later. Nobody saw 6-11 coming from the Kansas City Chiefs last year. Of course, Patrick Mahomes went down with a torn ACL and LCL. He's cleared. He's practicing in a brace. He says he's not missing week 1 against Denver. That's a Monday night game, by the way. Is that real, or is there enough left around him to make another round? We're going to catch up, but long-time play-by-play coach of the Chiefs, Mitch Holthus, will join us. It's coming up as we are out here at Twin Peaks, Deer Valley, your ultimate sports lodge. It's Roc and Manuch, Jamie B here on ESPN Radio Phoenix. We're on FM at 98.7 FM, HD-2 on YouTube, and always on the Arizona Sports app.
From the people who brought you It's the Dog Park comes.
It's a hot spot on your dog's leg. But the internet says you can treat it at home. You're not sure, though. Because now it's oozing.
Protect your dog from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Ooh, he's licking it. Super gross, dude.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Hi, it's Wayne from AMCO, stopping by the station to check in with Roller.
Hey, Wayne, what's going on today?
Well, the biggest question I hear lately is, do you have to go back to the dealer where you bought your car to get service or repairs?
Wayne, that's a good question. Do you?
No, Roller. If you bought a new or a new used car and you have an extended warranty contract that's hiding in your glove box, please don't forget it's there and that you can use it at any AMCO.
Oh, I thought you had to go to the dealer to keep your warranty valid.
Yes, most people do, but that's not the case. You can have your vehicle serviced at any authorized service center. And AMCO is authorized by all of the major warranty companies.
Wow, that's great. It's so nice to have other options.
I'll say AMCO has dealership quality, rental cars, no hassles, and faster service.
Wayne, that's great. And just to make sure, AMCO does more than transmissions, right?
That's right. If you need your vehicle repaired or hear, feel, see, smell, or even think you have a car issue, please call AMCO first or for a second opinion.
There you go. Google AMCO for your nearest location. That's AMCO, AA, MCO, transmissions, and a whole lot more.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Attorney Kevin Rowe. Getting rear-ended once is not enough. Don't let the insurance company hit you again with a lowball offer. Call an experienced attorney who knows how to fight and win. Call Lerner and Rowe today. 977-1900.
Call 977-1900.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620. Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Deer Valley, located in the Deer Valley Town Center. Twin Peaks, the home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
Second and 6.
Mahomes inside. Kelsey. Touchdown.
It's bad radio. If you're going to change the channel right now, I have no problem with it.
Music.
Why? Yeah, but why would you play a K-State fight song with a Patrick Mahomes a highlight? It makes no sense at all. It's such bad radio.
We're honoring our guest to play by.
Yeah, but you know what? We're not talking anything to do with Kansas State today.
Who knows?
We're not.
We
We're
may
not.
get there.
What we're going to talk about is what he did on his vacation this year, because after 10 years, he had nowhere to go in January. So we're talking to the voice of the Kansas City Chiefs. Of course, Mitch Holthus joins us here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. So what did you do in January? Did you guys find something to do? I mean...
No, well, hang on a second. We're finishing our film session. I'm with Patrick right now. You see when Manuch gets Nebraska against Goodlow? Watch his footwork, Pat. You see that? Look at the transfer of shifting his weight. Look at that, 87 yards on 3rd and 18. That's a touchdown against Nebraska. You see that, Pat? Yeah, okay, good. Now go get something to eat. All right, we're good. What do you guys want?
Thank you, Mitch. Thank you for indulging me. And that music to our ears, Mitch Holthus. How are you, buddy?
Oh, my God. That needs to be a second national anthem. Or U of A or ASU may not like it, or even Grand Canyon, but we might want to make that the state song of Arizona. Just me, but I don't know. We'll contact the legislature. Yeah, that is music to my ears, especially at camp.
So,
no, we're here and rolling, boys.
So
I bet you are, buddy.
So, Mitch, you went 10 years always working in January. So where'd you end up going on vacation?
Well, and think about this, guys. But let's see, 5 into February, which is super crazy to think about when you get to 5 Super Bowls and winning 3 of them. You know, it was interesting. The bucket got filled in. So we had a couple little trips. We loved to come down there. We just didn't do it this year. And honestly, Diamondback fans won't like this, but my granddaughter loves the Angels, just loves them. And I thought, gosh, this poor gal, you got to get through 60 and 102 seasons. But we'll come down there for spring training and catch the halos. But not this year. We didn't do that this year. But, yeah, it was a weird January to get knocked out and be 6-11 with this crew. Of course, Patrick, 240 days ago tore his ACL, LCL, and he's running around like a spring chicken. So we think we're going to come back with a counterattack strong.
It seems as though, Mitch, that was really, the season ended and everybody in that organization, I mean, everybody, and you included, said, this just can't happen. Injuries, you have your backup quarterback go down. We got, Minshew here with the Cardinals. I mean, it just seemed like one of those years. And people go, what does that mean when you say one of those years? I said, well, the perfect storm can go the right way, and sometimes the perfect storm can go the other way.
No question, but it really is. It's like you're driving around town with your engine light on. You're like, well, I hope it goes away, and then all of a sudden your engine blows up. That's kind of what happened here. You go through 3 straight Super Bowls, 3 straight years, you guys. We had the shortest off season in NFL history, 3 consecutive years. Then the schedule got real clunky last year. They shipped us off to Brazil. We were on the road Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, all of that before Columbus Day. And then the injuries started to happen. I didn't even realize this, in this off season, we had guys for 2 years postpone surgeries. I mean, you guys know, Manucci, you get stuff cleaned up and They just said, no, I'm not going to do it because we got to run here. We got to stay on this run. And finally this year, this team they changed the oil. So we think we'll come back. We got some question marks, but the return of Patrick is the most amazing story. Literally, I'm not making this up. 7 hours a day, 7 days a week for almost 7 months. Even we'd have an OTA session. He would work out before, do the OTA, go back in and do the OTA. The wedding of the century, right? Our tight end gets married to Taylor Swift, and right after the wedding, he flies immediately back and continues his rehab. He's an alien, but he's not missed a beat. There's no snap or any part of our practices here in St. Joseph during camp that he has missed.
Well, it's been interesting. You watch ESPN, a lot of the shows. It's ESPN/Chiefs Camp, which I love, and you're watching move around. I don't see really any hesitation. It seems like he's dropping and moving around. Not that he's going to run a 100-yard dash anytime soon, Mitch, but, I mean, the movements, for what you just described what he did, it's incredible. What's it been, 7 months, 8 months, if that? That's usually – you don't get back to rehab until a year into this kind of an injury.
That's what I'm saying. He's an alien. You guys, he had surgery like the next day. It was really weird because usually the swelling has to go down. But anyway, he just has been on this fast track, and you're thinking, ooh, but that's a risk. But we're not seeing any signs of that. Now, when we were in shells, and even a little bit this summer he did, during OTAs and mini camps, he did not do 11 on 11. Coach Reed purposely kept him out of that, but he's done every 11 on 11 snap that he's been scheduled for here in camp. I would see him tug. He'd wear a big brace, and he'd be tugging at it, and you're thinking, ooh, is that bothering him? And but it wasn't. It's just I think he was fidgeting with it. We even ran like sprint option a couple times at the goal line. I'm like, no, don't run sprint option. Or he's jumping up, and this gets close to home for you guys. There was one time he missed a seam route that was open, and it was on him, and he missed it, and he starts jumping up and down because he's mad, and like Bill Gramatica, right? Yeah. Game-winning field goal. What? That's an ACL injury. What? Honestly, my first thing I go, don't jump up and down. Bill Gramatica. So, but anyway, he's on it. We got some question marks, but we have some strengths, and I think that we'll try to come roaring back here.
He's the voice of the Kansas City Chiefs. Mitch Holthus joins us here on ESPN Radio Phoenix. So you didn't make it to the wedding? I would think the voice of the Chiefs would be there.
Well, you've seen the legendary clip from Hard Knocks with the guys trying to get into the Jets facility and he can't open the door. That was me outside of Madison Square Garden. Hey, you're
just hovering around.
No, I offered to be an acolyte for free. Yeah. I was going to be an acolyte and light the candles for free, right? And that didn't even work. So yeah, man, denied. Just denied. It's staped. It's like Shawshank. Denied. It's just on my head. Geez.
So will there be a farewell tour this year for Travis Kelce? Every market he goes in, are we going to see something like that?
I don't know. I would have lost $100 to you guys the last 2 years because I would have bet he was not coming back. When we were in New Orleans and got drilled by the Eagles in Super Bowl 59, that whole the week that we were down there, he'd see me or he'd go by and he's like, oh man, hey, and he'd come give a hug and like, thanks for all the great moments. And I'm like, he ain't coming back. And then we got drilled in that game. It's like, well, I'm not going to go out that way. And then we go the 6-11 crazy year last year. I don't think he wants to go out that way either. Here's what I think happens to him, and Manuch is a player. You can relate to this. I think the farther Kels gets away from this, where he's at right now, the more it brings him back. I think he realizes how much he will miss it, and that there's nothing in the world that can replicate what goes on here, even doing long drive drill and sweating, and Coach Reed runs a tough camp. But to be with his guys in camp, in the dorm, sweating it out every day, he loves that. He hates it and loves it at the same time, but he knows how much he'll miss it. And I think that's brought him back the last 2 years.
And they have isolated him with a lot of the footage I've seen, Mitch, as far as him running routes, catching the ball. I don't see really any change in him. He still looks, what's he push, about 245, 250. He seems to still move fairly well.
Yeah, for 36 and going to be 37 in October. It's not the old bounce around young Kels, but he can still, we run, and he does everything, you guys. He doesn't skip anything. It's stupid. I keep his snap count. He's like at 12,055 snaps or something, and he just laughs and he goes, the snap-o-meter, what's it up to? But he doesn't skip it. If we're running 9-on-7 and he's wham blocking inside, he does all those reps. I'm like, can we kind of skip that? Just let the old man out of it. He does it. He wants to do it. Or run the over route, the deep over route, motion, deep over route. He's doing all that too. So he looks a little 36-ish, but still very effective. We just got to get him some help because that dude has been double teamed more than any human on the planet over the last 5 years.
Mitch, got to ask you, there's not a lot of successful Cardinals over the years, but one is going into the Hall of Fame this weekend, of course, and Larry Fitzgerald. Just first thing that comes to mind when someone brings up his name.
I have used his name, you guys, and I'm not just saying this because I'm talking to you in that market. I'm telling you, I've used his name and his example to guys within our organization. One of the things I do, I speak in the off season. I'm kind of an adjunct professor. We do an academy for our incoming guys, and they always have me come in for a couple sessions. And I have used Larry's name several times about what a pro is like. I talk about humble confidence. And I said, it sounds like a contradiction, but it's really a chemical reaction. It's a chemical mixture. And that's what he was as a player. I loved him as a player. We honestly could use that because we have not had a skilled route runner move the chains. Oh, I can run every route. Oh, I'll get open against anybody. We haven't had that guy. So I'm saying Kelsey needs some help here, but we'll scheme guys open. But we need a Larry Fitzgerald type to get open on his own and make plays. He's one of my favorite all-time pros. And again, I'll use him as an example as long as the Lord gives me oxygen on this earth because he is the epitome, exhibit A, of what an NFL pro should be like.
Yeah, you emphasize that pro, and that really is. When you talk about Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, you talk about pros going about their business and remaining focused even within their success. And I think to that point, Mitch, that's one of the things I preach with a lot of guys I train is don't get bored with the process and try to improve every time. Here these guys are MVPs, winning Super Bowls, and they look forward to the next day of trying to get better.
And it's why the NIL world is counterintuitive to that. You've got to dig in at some place and just start to play and learn and deal with it and move to the next day. It's such great teaching on your part that it's somewhere that all hits the end point, and the end point's the NFL. But you'd like to have that in place for a player prior to that time. But you can't in the NFL, and really in football, I don't care if the high schools there in the Phoenix area, it's the same thing. You can't skip steps in football. It's not basketball. We go to the gym and roll it out, and I can play a 3-on-3 game. You have to follow a process. You've got to have 11 guys that have to work in concert. And there's no shortcuts. And if there's a guy that took zero shortcuts, it was Larry Fitzgerald. He reminds me a lot of Tony Gonzalez, different position, but just the way they approached it and did not play on teams like we've had with Pat. They kept grinding it out, and they weren't on perennial playoff teams, but they were incredible NFL players year in and year out. And, again, it's why Larry's a phenomenal example to anybody who wants to play in the NFL.
And real quick, I know Ted Lasso started the fourth season last night. Kansas City boy. Did Mitch Holthus make any kind of appearance when they filmed in Kansas City? Any kind of cameo that Jason Sudeikis might have had you do there?
I begged for that too. I begged to be like the elf on the shelves. And I didn't get that either, man. I got nothing here. I'm serious. I'm Morgan Freeman in Shawshank. I keep going in front of the parole board, and I just get denied. So I'm institutionalized. I can't get nothing.
Oh, I love it. Good stuff. Mitch, thank you. We always enjoy having you on, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
I got Justin Fields come back. Justin, I want you to watch this tape of Manuch against Nebraska on this post pattern, 87 yards on 3rd and 18. Yeah.
He's going to run out of bounds, Mitch. He's going to run out of bounds.
Mitch was there for that 81-yard run against KU as well, too. Is that
still in the record book?
He was ahead of his time, you guys. When we went 5 wide and went 5 verticals and he took off and ran, over. It was over. Couldn't catch him. Michael Vick, Dan Manucci, same guy.
Oh, jeez. Mitch, thank you, man. Have a good rest of the summer.
Thanks, buddy.
Hey, boys.
He's the voice of the Chiefs, the Kansas City Chiefs. Mitch Holthus joining us here as he does from time to time as Manuch and him go back to his days at Kansas State. All right, Roc's Man Vice is next. Oh, man, things that somehow become socially acceptable in the last decade. And the criminal mastermind behind $17,000 worth of Little Debbie snacks. That's all next on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on your ESPN Radio Phoenix.
When it comes to sushi, reputation matters, and Sushi Brokers Arcadia has built theirs on being the best sushi in Arizona. From traditional rolls to bold fusion creations, like our crowd favorite, Seafood Dynamite, and the must-try Sushi Pizza. We've got something for everyone. Our famous happy hour is every day from 3 to 6:30 with fresh favorites like the California Roll, Spicy Tuna Roll, and the Surf and Turf Roll, topped with seared steak. Sushi Brokers Arcadia, 44th Street in Indian School.
Hey, it's Jimmy B. Football season is here, and there's never been a better time to grow your business. Partner right now with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, with live endorsements, show sponsorships, featured segments, remote broadcast, and so much more. YouTube, social media, and commercials, all built around your goals and your budget. Visit rocandmanuch.com and click advertise. Let's grow your business together.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. The insurance company's job is to pay you as little as possible. Our job is to get you every dollar you deserve. Call Lerner & Rowe today and let's make them pay. Call 977-1900.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
Action! When I grow up, I want to be a director because they get to talk to everybody about everything. They get to make cool movies and dance music videos.
If your child is sick over and over again, it could be PI, a defect of the immune system that affects millions. Early testing can give children a chance to dream.
And when I'm a director, I get to say, lights, camera, action.
For more information, visit the Jeffrey Modell Foundation at info4pi.org.
That's a wrap.
It's heating up across Arizona. Make sure you know the signs of heat stress, cramps, rashes, exhaustion, dizziness. Working in high temperatures can be dangerous. It can lead to an altered mental state, damage your organs, and even cause death. Protect yourself. Get plenty of water, rest, and shade during the day. Learn more from the Industrial Commission of Arizona. Visit azica.gov/heat. This message is sponsored by the Industrial Commission of Arizona.
Do you roll like Roc when it comes to romance?
What do you say we go out on a date? Have some chicken, maybe some sex. You know, see what happens.
Roc searches the world for tips on dating, divorce, marriage, pop culture, and even... Yeah, here's Roc's Man Vice.
60% of the time, it works every time.
All right, time for a little Roc's Man Vice. Some useless knowledge for you on this Thursday from Twin Peaks, Deer Valley. A study says the average American, you can fill in the blank, Manuch, prefers the bedroom at how many degrees while sleeping?
Ooh, I'm going to say... I'm going to say 72 degrees.
67 degrees.
Ooh, wow. That's
And
chilly.
Massachusetts residents reportedly like it the coldest at 63 degrees, while Hawaii prefers the warmest at 70. And Arizona among the states that prefer sleeping around between 67 and 70 degrees.
So we keep it at 72, but I got the ceiling fan going to kind of get that extra coolness going.
Gym shrinkage. apparently is a real thing.
Is it really?
Yeah, I couldn't use the word I wanted to, but doctors say hard workouts can cause
Serious shrinkage.
because
Okay.
your body redirects blood flow to your working muscles. Now,
Okay.
experts say it's completely normal,
Mhm.
especially after an intense, exercise, dehydration,
Right.
maybe too much caffeine or the cold temperatures, but everything returns to normal once your body cools down. So, guys, congratulations. Science has officially given you a locker room excuse.
So,
And it wasn't the pool or leg day. It was leg day. It was leg day. It wasn't the pool.
so if you got some shrinkage, that means you had a hell of a workout in the gym.
Ear specialists say earwax serves a purpose, and it helps protect the ear canal and reduce infection and all that. Most people do not need to remove wax from inside their ear, so the cotton swabs may push a little deeper, but they basically said, how often do you clean your ears? I mean, I'm maybe once or twice a day.
Yeah.
I'm always like my routine.
I don't use the cotton swabs anymore.
You don't? When you
don't.
got one of those machines?
No, I'm after I just
Put your finger in there?
No, I don't put
Use a towel?
I just when I check out my doctor.
You don't clean your ears on a regular basis?
No, I don't use a swab. I'll use my fingers if I have to.
Oh, my
at the
God,
very-
Manuch.
At the very end.
Dude, I guarantee if I give you a swab right now, you're going to have it. It's going to be orange.
Yeah, but I just.
Oh, dude,
I've been
you got
told,
it, dude.
I've been told don't use
Oh,
the swab.
dude, who's telling you somebody's giving you some
my
bad
doctor.
info?
I've had some serious buildup about 2 years ago. He had to
Well,
flush it all out.
You know why you had build out? Because you weren't cleaning
No,
them.
I was using the swabs all the time.
No.
He said use swabs. I said
No.
every day. Yeah.
West Virginia delivery driver was accused of stealing approximately $17,000 worth of Little Debbie products. Now, authorities allege he forged store employee signatures, claimed the deliveries had been completed, and he kept the merchandise. Reports say he may have tried stealing some of the snacks at like these flea markets. He faces multiple charges and all that. Imagine destroying your career to become the black market king.
Unbelievable.
For these Debbie. I don't think I've ever had a Little Debbie.
Well,
snack.
they're like the little chocolate cupcakes I used
Or
to
those
Hostess.
oatmeal
No, Little Debbie's are like-
pies.
you'll see pie, but you see Hostess has got those little chocolate cupcakes. They do the same thing. As a matter of fact, you prefer Hostess over the Little Debbie's. They were kind of the
Man.
cheaper brand.
Highest paid podcasters of this year. Forbes reportedly ranked Joe Rogan as first. What do you think he makes a year?
Ooh, man, he's got a lot of followers. I'm going to say $15 million a year.
$82 million.
What? $82 million.
Yeah, then it goes Stephen Bartlett, Ashley Flowers, the Smartless hosts, Mel Robbins, Jason Travis Kelce, Alex Cooper, the Pod Save America host. That's what it is.
82.
Every person with a microphone now thinks they're one sponsorship away from 82 million.
Yes.
All right, parents, you're going to love this one. A survey found that parents spend an average, fill in the blank, of how many minutes per day transporting your children to sporting events, school activities, practice, and all that.
I'm going to say at least per day.
This is an average.
Yeah, on average, I'm going to say good. I'd say I'm going to go 2 hours. It's 120
Wow.
minutes.
Okay.
I'm going to say good
38 minutes was the average.
Okay.
Across the school year, that equals approximately just under 7,000 minutes, close to 15 8-hour work days. 77% of parents said back to school season makes life more hectic.
I remember carting the kids around when they were small to school to practice, and you just did it. You didn't worry about it, but you had to plan your whole day around, okay, where are they going? What's their practice? What's their game? Along with your work schedule. So it's just something you just do. Don't even think twice about it.
And then last one, most expensive sports cards ever sold. The reported record is Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. It was a dual logo man autograph card that sold for $12.93 million. The others include Mickey Mantle, Honus Wagner, Babe Ruth, Steph Curry, LeBron James, Aaron Judge, Luka, and Mahomes. But the Jordan Bryant card reportedly trails only Babe Ruth's called shot jersey among the most expensive sports memorabilia sales. So somewhere, every adult is calling their mom, asking why she threw away that shoebox from the closet.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Not me, man.
You
Not
kept
me. My parent, when I moved here in 93, my parents, or 94, I moved here in 92, 93, my parents had moved from South Jersey down to Charlotte.
Right.
and I had a whole house full of baseball cards, football cards, every SI sport, baseball digest, football digest, everything you can think of. They actually put it in boxes, wrapped it, and mailed it. It was one of those shipping companies that you get ground, and like on an 18-wheeler. And then it came in my house, and then it stayed in their house here because they had a house here too.
Right.
Stayed in there until I recently just moved again, third time in the last 3 years. And all of it is now, most of it, I went through a lot of it. I gave away a lot of it, but I kept it. Now I'm just trying to figure out what do I do with it. Because I always thought that I'd have kids or this kick-ass sports bar where I'd have all my memorabilia up. Well, that's not happening. So I just, I'm sitting on it. I just got to find the time to go and look at. I realized going through this move, 40, 50 sets of complete years of Topps, Donruss, Fleer, things I never even knew I really had. I just knew I had it in boxes because I'd been gone since 86, so I didn't know what my parents did with it. But what I found interesting was going through all the Sports Illustrated, the ones with Larry Bird and Michael Jordan on the cover, and
Goodrich,
all those, Brett Goodrich, you know, and you think about it. I mean, SI was always, you look forward to who's going to be on the cover this week.
Yeah, you did.
And you'd wait for it to come in the mail, you know, and you're like, oh man, Dr. J's on the cover with Moses Malone and Charles Barkley. Those were the days, man.
It's interesting you say that. And then for us young boys growing up, hey, that what do you call it? The swimsuit special that came out every year.
I still have those.
Oh, you still have those? Oh.
You know what I found?
Junior high. When's it coming?
So I found a box that had stuff in it that was probably not appropriate. And I literally found it. And there was probably 30 magazines in there.
Yeah.
From like the 80s.
Sure.
And they weren't Playboy. They weren't Penthouse. They were like different ones, right?
Yes.
And I found them. And I'm like, how did my mom, I mean, she didn't see him? Was there like an SI on top?
Did she close her eyes?
Box? And then I'm like, and of course, I had to look at it before I threw them away.
Well, yeah, you did.
Oh, I remember there, you know.
Yeah, Cheryl Teague.
No, it wasn't that stuff.
You had the
dude.
deeper stuff.
Oh, this is the bad stuff. So anyway, hey, preseason openers are useless if you watch them like a fan. But if you watch them like a lineman, it's a little bit different. So we're going to catch up with Michael Bankston next. He is one of the better defensive linemen for this franchise that they ever had. So he'll tell us exactly what he'll be looking for as he watches the Cards defense tonight in Canton. That's next. But here's Laz with another sports update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The D-backs bounced back in a big way last night, beating the Padres 10-4 behind an offensive outburst and 7 stellar innings from rookie Mitch, who picked up the first major league win of his career. Snakes will look to take 3 of 4 from the Padres tonight with first pitch from Chase Field set for 6:40. And in football, the NFL preseason officially gets underway tonight as the Arizona Cardinals take on the Carolina Panthers in the Hall of Fame game from Canton, Ohio. Kickoff is set for 5 o'clock, and you can catch all of that action on 98.7 FM, also streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. Football is back tonight, and Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B are live from Twin Peaks, Deer Valley, right now until 4. Come hang with us, then stay for the first preseason game of the year. Scratch-made food, wall-to-wall TVs, and ice-cold 29-degree beers.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Looking for a new ride? Make the right choice. Ride Honda in Scottsdale. Whether you're shopping for a fuel-efficient Civic, a family-friendly CRV, the rugged Passport, or the all-new Accord, Ride Honda has the selection, value, and customer service Arizona drivers trust. Plus, their experienced service team is here long after the sale. Visit the showroom on Scottsdale Road just south of Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard or shop anytime at RightHonda.com. That's RightHonda.com, where Arizona drives. Right Honda.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
When it comes to your roof, you don't want to mess around. And Arizona homeowners and business owners have known that for over a decade. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer. Residential, commercial, they do it all. And they've been doing it right here in the Valley for over 10 years. Protect your home, protect your business. And hey, keep your roof sexy with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com. or call 480-268-4509. State 48 Roofing, Arizona's most trusted roof.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
When driving in Arizona, move over or slow down for any flashing lights. Move over for tow truck drivers, highway crews, and emergency responders. Move over for any vehicle with its hazards flashing. Because at 65 miles per hour, a vehicle travels over 95 feet in 1 second. 1 second that could change everything. When you move over for anyone, you're not just doing it for them. You're doing it for their families. Their lives are flashing before your eyes. Move over, Arizona. Every vehicle, every time. It's the law. Please visit moveoveraz.org. This message is brought to you by ADOT and this station.
He's a proud Sam Houston State alum who played 9 seasons in the NFL for the Bengals and Cardinals. Ranked number 62 on the Arizona Republic's top 100 all-time Cardinal players. A great follow on Twitter X at BigBank90. Michael Bankston now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
Sam Houston Bearcats. Michael Banks joins us now here on ESPN Radio Phoenix. How we doing there, big fella? What's going on?
What's up, Banks?
Hey, I'm great, man. I'm ready for this, man. It's the season getting ready to start. The Hall of Fame game is happening right now in Canton, Ohio. We have Larry Fitzgerald getting inducted, which is phenomenal, which is warranted because of the type of player he was.
So if someone just maybe is from another country just picking up the sport, and they ask, "Oh, who's this guy, Larry Fitzgerald?" What would you tell him?
I'm gonna tell him like everybody else. Google him.
You lazy! Come on! Come on!
Google
what
him.
Kind of person? What kind of person? Everybody says he's the pro. I mean, he's a community guy. What? Talk about his character, because you know him on a personal level.
Well, you know what? One of the things I always appreciate about Larry, Larry is that guy. You know, you got some of the guys, and especially Hall of Famers, and I don't want to say it in a disrespectful way. I mean, they feel some type of way, which they won't. They have that capability because of what they've done in the league and how they got to that spot and that opportunity. But Larry's that one guy to come up to you and say hi, what's up, and act like he was always there with you the whole time. And that's one of the things I appreciated about him. He's one of those guys that is very approachable and personable, even with that kind of status.
I think Banks, he's very genuine. I mean, we've had him on many times. We've talked to him. We had him at DraftKings here about 2 months ago, and all the inductions and all those things were made official as far as who the Hall of Famers were this year. But just how genuine and humble he is, and that the way he carries himself.
Yeah, he's been that way. I'll give you another prime example. So when we go up there and do our alumni weekend at the Cardinals, so that's for the training camp, when Larry was playing, we sit up there in the stands, and Larry would actually jump over the, I shouldn't say fence, but whatever that aspect is, and come up and say hi to the former players. He was one of those guys. Patrick P. was one of those guys that would do that as well.
So when you think of some of the great players you played with, and maybe some of the Hall of Famers, Banks, and you look at Larry, what's the commonality of those great players you played with or you've been around when you see them going to the Hall of Fame, or you see their greatness on a year-in and year-out basis?
Well, one of the guys I played was Aeneas Williams, as y'all guys know. And Aeneas approached the game as one of the best players. And it wasn't that he was conceited or any of those things. They were humble that they got that opportunity, and they wanted to be the best players, and they act like it on and off the field. And that's one of the biggest things. On and off the field, they were same people, but they always wanted to be great at what they did. And hats off to them. Like, we already knew that Larry would be a first round ballot Hall of Famer, and even with Drew Brees, we knew he would be one too.
He's Michael Bankston joining us here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. All right, preseason opener, no game plan, vanilla calls. What are a couple things that you'll actually look at when you're watching that defensive line tonight?
Well, it's going to be the younger guys, the guys that trying to establish themselves and trying to make that mark in the league or make their mark on a team so they can get an opportunity to at the end of the day, be on the roster. Let's put it that way. So you got to come out there hungry, even though it's Canton, Ohio, even though it's the first preseason, even though how they doing things as far as it's only 3 preseason games, unless you're playing in a Hall of Fame game in Canton, you got 4. But you still want to show well. And at the end of the day, I'm just hoping those guys come out there, as far as D linemen, establish themselves, rush the passer, and stop the run, and make sure they know what they're doing, because assignment and alignment is huge. If you don't have that going on, then that's a problem in itself, because one hole can make a huge difference. So we hope those guys come in there and show that they are NFL quality players, and they want to be there, and they're going to do what it takes to be there.
You know, Banks, you talk about the term show well. We talked about Carson Beck and the offense and what we'd like to see out of them tonight. But when you say show well, what exactly are you talking about? Even if the starters aren't playing, some of the other guys come. What does that term mean from a defensive perspective?
Well, we can't go with the starters. It's not going to be the case. Even if some of the starters going to play, it's going to be a limited time. It's most of the younger guys you get ready to see moving forward. The starters are just trying to get their foot movements as far as the cornerbacks, the receivers. They want to make sure they get their timing right. And linebackers, they want to make sure they get their fit right. You know what time it is when it comes to that. So, but again, we're going to see most of the younger players. They're going to play most of the game, and they just want to go up there and fare well. If you want to be able to make a difference, I'll be quite frank, you got to make some plays. And if you're not making the big-time plays, you got to not make the mistakes, and they know where you need to be at the end of the day. So we'll see what time it is. With Carson Beck starting, everybody like, well, Carson starting. That's not a big surprise. I expect them to start because they got 4 preseason games, and they're not really concerned for the most part. I shouldn't say it like that, but they're not really concerned. They just want to see what those guys can be able to do.
Banks, you remember your very first preseason game? I can remember mine vividly. How about you, your very first one? Who was it against, and what is it you took away from that very first preseason game from one Michael Bankston?
And you know what? And I knew you was going to ask this question. So my first preseason game was against Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. And it was hot and humid, and you got to understand early in the season in Tampa Bay. I went sideline to sideline. I was out of breath. So what I learned from that is I need to lose some goddamn weight and not eat everything at a pregame meal and give myself the best opportunity to play the best when it came down to game time when the bullets were live. Because that game, I was wore out on the first series of the game because I played the first series of the game, and it was just too much. That's because I ate the steak, I ate the pasta, I ate the potatoes, I ate everything they put in front of me, and I was heavy when I got time for the game.
So you were basically a mess by the time you got to the game and couldn't even go sideline to sideline, correct?
I was out of breath. Let me let you know. I got to tell the truth. Shame the devil. I was out of breath, and I learned. And I'm thankful for that game though, because I learned that I needed to be hungry when game time started. I needed my stomach to be empty when game time started because it's 2 hours. You already know. Actually, it's 4 hours before pregame meal. You know the time, and then 2 hours got to be at the stadium. I knew as far as the development, I mean, I'm not no scientific, I ain't all that kind of stuff, but I just knew for my body part that I need to be hungry when the game started.
He's Michael Bankston, Big Banks here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Banks, as always, man, thank you. Football's back. We got some stuff to talk about, which should be a lot of fun. So we get to get on the ride again for another year. So we'll look forward to having you on quite a bit. So thanks for always making time for us.
Yeah, you know what? I can't wait. I mean, it's the first game tonight. Now, I got the grandbabies, so I got to put it on, you know, besides the cartoons, I got to put on a separate channel to sit up there and be able to watch the game, but I'm planning on doing that. And hats off to Larry Fitzgerald and all the guys that made the Hall of Fame.
You don't think you know your granddaughter or grandson's gonna be able to know the difference between cartoons and what they're gonna be watching with the Cardinals this year? I mean, it's pretty close.
Oh wow,
pretty close.
What a shot! Wow.
Come on now. You know this is gonna be a tough season, man. Mike. You know this is gonna be a tough season, right? Would you agree? New coach, new everything, right?
It's a new coach, new system, the whole 9 yards, and I just hope they're not vanilla. I just hope they'll be more strategic in their play calling on offense and defense, and then win some ball games. Let's be real. Let's win some ball games and make sure we are in the game the whole time, including the end of the game. Because if we can finish some games, we'll win some more ball games.
You're absolutely right. We'll hope so. We can only hope. Thanks, buddy. Have a good night. Thank you for your time.
Hey, thank you, guys, and let's go. Football season has started. Hey, much love.
You too. Big Bank 90 right there joining us here on ESPN Radio Phoenix. All right, somebody has to stop the bleeding. The ladies are up 39-16 in our weekly Bud Light Peaks picks, and today we've added the biggest game in America. The biggest game in America today, the Cardinals and the Panthers in Canton, 5 o'clock our time. Winner in total points. Got a $20 Twin Peaks gift card on the line. It's a few beers, a couple Michelob Ultras, a couple Bud Lights, some great food. So be caller number 5 right now, and we'll take you off the air at 602-230-0620. 602-230-0620. Fifth caller. All we're doing is 2 games today. Cards Panthers, we need the winner and the score, and then D-backs Padres, winner and the score. So we're going to do that next. Again, fifth caller, 602-230-0620. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B here on ESPN Radio Phoenix. We're on FM at 98.7 HD-2, on YouTube currently as well, and the Arizona Sports app.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views. Ball players, legends. One incredible weekend of golf. It's the MLB Retired Players Association Celebrity Classic, September 19th through the 21st at Ocotillo Golf Club in Chandler. Play around paired with an actual MLB player, plus swag, breakfast, and lunch, while raising money for retired players, kids with autism through music movement, and ASU baseball scholarships. Foursomes are going fast. Register today at music-movement.org. That's music-movement.org. When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers deliver more air for less money. They're rust-free and backed by more than 40 years of experience keeping you cool. Available now online at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Tractor Supply. Ship to the store or right to your door. Visit staycool-products.com. Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube. Get yours today with free shipping and beat the heat.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Right Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Right Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Right Toyota. Right Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Right Toyota. Make the right choice, Right Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at righttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out righttoyota.com.
Now open in North Scottsdale. It's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs. Right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
I work for the Arizona Department of Public Safety Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Unit. Any idea why I stopped you today?
No, sir.
I stopped you for distracted driving. Arizona law prohibits the use of electronic devices unless they're hands-free. Truck drivers see everything, except their blind spots. Cutting off a truck is like cutting off a freight train. It's dangerous, so stay focused on the road. Visit sharetheroadaz.com to learn how to drive truck smart.
Sponsored by the Arizona Trucking Association Foundation and the Arizona Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Are you ready? It's your weekly chance to challenge one of the beautiful girls from Twin Peaks. It's Peaks Picks. The Twin Peaks girls are the essential ingredient to the perfect lodge experience. Each week, our girl next door Twin Peaks contestant takes on an ESPN 620 listener for 3 games. Get the most picks right. Win a $25 man card for one of the 5 Valley Twin Peaks locations: Scottsdale, Phoenix, Glendale, Tempe, and Deer Valley. Now, time for Peaks Picks.
All right, a little battle of the ladies today for our Twin Peaks Bud Light picks, as we do it each and every week here. And today we have Audrey at the Deer Valley location, and she's been with us before. How are you doing today? Prescott, right?
Yes.
That's where I remember that. All right, so today we're going to do 2 games. You're going to be competing against Amanda from Avondale. We'll do tonight's big game between the Cardinals and the Panthers, so we'll need the team that's going to win and the score of the game. And then we'll do Diamondbacks and Padres, the winner and the score of the game. But first, let's bring on Amanda. How are we doing, Amanda? How's your day going?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Doing good. Thanks for jumping on. So you're playing against Audrey here. So we'll have you go first, Amanda. So Cardinals and Panthers tonight. We need the winner and what the score is going to be.
I'm going to try and go with our Cardinals for winner.
Okay.
And I will say 14-7.
14-7, low-scoring game there. All right. And Audrey, who do you think tonight?
I also am going to go with the Cardinals.
Okay.
And I'd say let's go 12-5.
Oh, field goal and a
12-5.
and a safety
all right,
in
we'll
there.
do that. Okay. All right. Manuch, let's get the next game
all
in.
right, Amanda, we got the D-backs versus the Padres tonight. Give us the winner and score.
All right, our D-back for the winner and 4-1.
4-1.
4-1.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Audrey, who do you got for D-backs Padres game? Winner and score.
Absolutely going to go with my Diamondbacks.
Okay.
Let's go with 5-3.
Okay.
5-3. All right, good stuff. Hey, Amanda, thanks for listening. Thanks for playing. Good luck to you. Have yourself a good weekend.
Thank you. You too.
That's Amanda and Avondale competing today in our Eeks picks. All right, Audrey, what's going on here today? There's a football game tonight. Are you working or are you at the day shift?
I am the morning shift,
Okay.
but the football game is at 5. I believe we will have it on every TV, and we should also have it on sound as well.
Okay, good.
For our specials for drafts, around happy hour, which will be in about 10 minutes, to 6, we'll have $2 off of all of our draft beers.
Okay.
And then for the day, we have $6 Michelobes, which Michelob are pretty popular in
Michelob
Arizona.
Ultra. Yeah, they are. And then I know you got the Bud Light Aluminums, too, on Thursday.
Yeah.
That's been pretty popular.
And
Just
we
brought those
have
in.
the Mother Road Tower stations for
Yes.
$6.50.
There you go. There you go. So you ready for a little football? It brings more people in. It's good for you.
Oh,
Makes
yeah.
you more money.
Yeah, I love it when it's busy.
Yeah, it's good.
Keeps me on my toes.
Keeps you on your toes. Well, hopefully you got these games right, and that'll be good stuff. So, Audrey, thank you once again for competing with us today. So football season starts tonight, as we all know, and get your league together if you're doing fantasy football, and you can host your fantasy football draft here at any of the 5 lodges. And the commissioners, they get a $50 Twin Peaks gift card just by organizing it. So it's cold drinks, made from scratch food, wall-to-wall TVs, and everything you need for draft day. So if you want to book your fantasy football party, just head into any of the 5 locations. We're at the Deer Valley location today. That's Twin Peaks, your ultimate sports lodge. But 50 years ago, the NFL in 1976 added Tampa and Seattle, all right, to the league. Tampa went 0-14 and, of course, became the punchline. Seattle wasn't much better. Here's the payoff. This past February, of course, Seattle won Super Bowl 60, beating the New England Patriots, and they'll open the season on a Wednesday. 5 months ago, the estate of Paul Allen agreed to sell the franchise for a reported $9.612 billion, the largest price ever paid for an NFL team. He bought the team for $194 million. So 5 years from expansion, the afterthought to be the most expensive franchise in the history of American sport. How about that? Other 76 markers, if you look, the Super Bowl that year was the Raiders over the Vikings, 32-14.
I believe that was in either Pasadena,
Super Bowl 11.
Yeah, or Stanford, one of the two there. That was the first Raiders Super Bowl win. Stabler, Madden. I'll never forget the catch the catch by Biletnikoff in the end zone. I think that was the 4th loss by the Vikings. Fran Tarkenton at the helm for that game.
So ASU and U of A camp has started. It opened yesterday. There's a 4-way quarterback battle in Tempe. As Cutter Boley had the edge in the first team reps over Mikey Keene, a local kid. We got Butter Tollefson, Jake. What's it? How do you say? Fett?
I think. Betty, the kid from El Paso.
So he got some work on 11-11. He's the one who hit Butter Tollefson for a touchdown. Some other notes that I saw, Cutter Boley picked off on a deep go route to Ashton Stamps. Keene had a tip ball pick. Dillingham on what he said on the, looking at these quarterbacks and shells. The quarterback play is when it hits the fan, and he cautioned that anybody reading into an unpadded day, you gotta relax.
I love it watching Kennedy with his response to that right there. Hey, where quarterback play matters, he emphasized the term matters is once the pads are on, we're scrimmaging or we're actually with live ammo. And he said, hey, I expect these guys to hit passes in 7-on-7, 1-on-1 versus there. He expects all that. But I like Mikey Keene, a little biased, Chandler High School product. I went to Fresno State, then he went off to Michigan. Now he's back here at ASU. He's got the experience. He's got a lot of play. The Boley kid is really sharp. I mean, for a young kid transferring in from Kentucky. And then the kid that came from El Paso, you mentioned, he came in semester, Rock. He graduated early and came in. And then I believe Mikey was there, Mikey Keene. So everybody, all hands were on deck. The only kid that wasn't there in spring was the kid that came in, the other freshman that came in this camp. So really good competition for the Sun Devil quarterback right now.
And for Arizona, 13-12 overall under Brennan. He's in his third year, coming up a 9-4 season. Noah Fafia is back for his senior year with a Heisman campaign behind him. He got engaged over the weekend.
Oh,
how
did
about
he really?
that? So his goals, the outcome goals are clear. He said a Rose Bowl and a Big 12 championship. Coach Brennan was also asked about the heat. He says it was hot, which we love, and I hope it gets hotter. That's what he's saying. He opens up on September 5th against NAU down in Tucson.
You know, that's another thing too, is who's going to be the backup quarterback to Fafita. I mean, right now there's Luke is there. I know Mason Bray. I had a chance to work with him since 5th grade out of Saguaro High School. He's down there, and as far as the depth is concerned, and Roc, talk about building a program. Second year, you know, Brent Brennan took the Holiday Bowl last year, so they want to build on that. They want to vie for that Big 12 championship.
It has been over 10 years since they've gone back-to-back bowls, so
Exactly.
hopefully they can, I think they're going to be good this year. I do. I mean, it's all about the quarterback, right? So you got a 5-year guy in there.
Yeah, 5th year, and decided not to leave, which is really special.
Smart
about Noah Fafita. And again, if everybody can stay healthy at that U of A team, they'll have that shot. And just like ASU, I mean, they're bigger, stronger, faster. But it's about that quarterback situation. Got an experienced guy in Fafita down in Tucson. You'll have a couple of young guys aside from Mikey Keene, who is the most experienced quarterback. By the way, Mikey Keene, when he was at Fresno State, beat Arizona State when they played, I think it was 3 years ago, over on Sun Devil Field, Frank Cush Field. So he's got the upper hand as far as experience. Now it would just be a matter of when you start against Morgan State, I just wonder how much he might play both of his first-string quarterback, second-string quarterback before they make that big move down to Texas A&M that next game.
On NFL news, Jonathan Taylor, Colts, 2 years, $44 million extension, can get up to $47 million. $39 million was guaranteed. Third largest contract ever for an NFL running back. Stephon Diggs, he signed with the Commanders. Again, regular season will kick off on Wednesday, September 9th, as Seahawks host the Patriots. A Super Bowl 60 rematch. That'll be on NBC. And then the following day, it'll be 49ers and Rams from Austria. And that's on Netflix. The rest. And then Monday night, first Monday night game is Chiefs at Denver on September 14th. So we are here talking some football. But baseball's not done with us yet. D-backs, they hung 10 on San Diego last night, 15 hits. We're going to get into some of that. We'll look at that. We got money line as well. I think a lot of people worried about DirecTV. That's all fixed, so we'll talk about that. Then Howard Balzer will join us from the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, from Twin Peaks, Deer Valley on ESPN Radio.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Progressive knows it ain't easy navigating the open plains of home insurance, but there is one man who can help tame that wild herd of options, the Home Quote Explorer.
Note, Progressive's Home Quote Explorer is not a real person, but an online tool that lets you compare home insurance.
He's the type of fella who helps you decide on the right insurance, even if it ain't with him.
Again, not a person, just an online tool that helps you find great home coverage.
No real.
Okay, fine. Just do the thing. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurance comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Nobody does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Nobody. Whatever you're craving, we got it. Tequila cocktails, premium bourbon pours, and top shelf spirits served over ice balls that hit just right. Local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails, yep, all here. And with 5 Valley locations. And don't forget the teeth-chattering 29-degree drafts we're famous for. Pair it all with scratch kitchen bites that actually satisfy. From shareables to hearty favorites. When it comes to happy hour, Twin Peaks doesn't play. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, scenic views. When tragedy strikes, the impact is immediate and devastating. That's when the 100 Club of Arizona steps in, providing financial assistance, guidance, and emotional support to the families of public safety officers injured or killed in the line of duty. They also invest in mental health resources, injury prevention, and scholarships for the children of first responders. Every day, Arizona's public safety professionals put their lives on the line. The 100 Club of Arizona has their back. Learn more at 100club.org.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620. It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Deer Valley, located in the Deer Valley Town Center. Twin Peaks, the home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
I hope you're having a wonderful Thursday. We are about 2 hours from kickoff, and it's the Cardinals and the Panthers, of course. We're at Twin Peaks Deer Valley. And for the first time in a long time, we actually have a football game to actually talk about. And now, will it look like real football? Yeah, it will. But veterans are going to be wearing ball caps. Starters will be watching from the sideline. The game plan probably will fit on the back of a Twin Peaks napkin, and that's about it. You know, it's all about Larry Fitzgerald. Even Tyler Drake, who joined us in the first hour, you know, he even said it, and I think a lot of people are. This is the Super Bowl for the Cardinals right now, with Larry Legend going in to the Hall, and that's really the storyline. I think what has made it a little bit more interesting is Carson Beck getting a nod.
Sure.
And a lot of us want to see the kid who played 6 years of college ball at Georgia and Miami. And, of course, there's a lot behind Carson Beck. I had a guy today ask me, what's the real story about him? You know, what's the off-the-field stuff? Because there is some, and there has been
There was
some.
a little baggage with that.
So,
I think he's cleared a lot of that up.
Yeah, it's been quiet,
Yeah.
you know. So we'll see what he can do tonight. I think, you know, we'll see if he can handle the pressure. I don't see why he can't, but this is his debut. He'll be playing behind backup offensive linemen. He's not going to have any superstar wide receivers or running backs and things of that sort. But, hey, it's something to talk about. It'll make tomorrow's show a lot more interesting with whatever he does. And when we see Keaton Slovis, the former USC kid, come in after him, where else did he play?
He's a Desert Mountain High School product.
Yep.
And before that, I'm not quite sure. Laz, you remember where he was initially? Because you're his best buddy. And
oh, they're friends?
Yeah, they're friends. And I've been asking for digits for like, I don't know, 2 years.
Oh, we're gonna get him on the show. We're just gonna sneak attack him when you guys aren't ready. Well,
Yeah.
Keaton started at USC. Remember, his receivers were Michael
Right.
Pittman and he had Drake London. I forget the third, but he had 3 All-Pro receivers his freshman year, and he tore up every record at USC. From there, that's when he moved to Pitt, and from Pitt, he went to BYU.
Yeah, so he's had a little, you know, he's traveled here and there. And I think that.
Got to go where the money is.
Yeah, you know what? Nowadays, yeah. But
you mean that's what it is.
It might be a little restricting now that they have the eligibility rule. What, just 5 years from now when you start?
That's interesting. You know, Dillingham said something that, you know, they have 105 scholarship athletes right now, and you know, there may be a dude out there that he may want to bring on, and it's just interesting how this just changes. It's got to be tough on these coaches when you allocate all your scholarship, and now some guys are now able to come and play longer. What do you do?
Yeah.
Can you take somebody's away?
And what the problem is, you used to have those preferred walk-ons. Just to have like 125 guys.
Yeah.
Now it's down to 105. To your point, because they got to take care of everybody, and so you're limited as far as the scout team guys. A lot of your second and third teamers got to run the scout team. But you look at Keaton Slovis, and hopefully here's a young man that can get some reps. He's kind of the odd man out, but all you can really do is Roc, when you're in that position, just get some tape. Just see how well you play. If you do get cut, which sounds like he could be the odd man out, and if there's somebody that has a quarterback go down, they can go, hey, let's take a look at this Keaton Slovis kid. And let's look at his tape. He played 4 quarters for the Cardinals this last preseason. Looking ahead, how did he handle everything? Did he get the ball out? Did he throw it very well? I mean, there's a lot of that there when you're backing up, which he will back up Carson Beck in tonight's game. So I think Beck goes a good, I would say, 2 quarters. And I think you give Slovis the third and fourth quarter, just to see how he reads and reacts.
All right, we'll get more into that. We'll go out to Howard Balzer here in about 20 minutes. But D-backs, 61-54. They're second in the NL West. They're holding a wild card spot right now. Of course, they put 10 up on San Diego. They'll go again tonight. But how about Mitch Bratt? 7 innings, gives up 1 hit, no runs, 9 strikeouts, 3 walks, and 92 pitches. And he got the offensive support as well. 15 hits. The team batted .405 last night. 6 for 14 with runners in scoring position. How about Vargas? 2 for 5 with 4 RBI. He hit a double. He hit a triple. Tim Atawa, 3 of 5. He hit a dinger and a couple. And Waldschmidt, 3 for 4. Locklear, 2 for 4. I mean, Corbin, 2 for 4. I mean, list goes on and on. The only blemish would be is Kevin Geichel. He gave up 4 in the 9th. Tatis with the home run and Workman with the 3-run double. And, I know you got to put him in there. You don't want to bring, but, man, you want to give a little break to your closer.
To have a 10-0 lead and to get pulled after 2 outs in the 9th inning.
Kind of reminded you of last week with Pittsburgh.
With Sewell. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, that was a total anomaly. But the irony of all that, who comes in for the last out? Sewell.
Yeah.
He comes in and gets
he thought like probably in that 5th, 6th inning, he's like, I'm off tonight. I can sit back. I can pop more seeds and here in the bullpen. And then sure enough, they had to call him in. And, losing pitcher was Casey Mize. He only went 3 innings, 9 hits, 8 earned on his debut with San Diego. How about that?
And it's interesting because I know the Diamondbacks were interested in him.
Yeah, they were.
Can you imagine the Detroit Tiger fans? Scooble's gone. Mize is gone. You basically
both of them didn't have good.
They did
outings.
Well, they had no hitting.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Mize is, he came into this game, his ERA was like 2.72 because he had no hitting in Detroit. So right now I think it's 3.40 after last night. So if you're a Tiger fan, you got to be feeling, okay, got to look forward to next year. But in the case of Brad, Roc, I was surprised to hear that he's the first rookie ever you mentioned the 7 innings, the 1 hit, and the 9 strikeouts. And I think of all the rookie pitchers that have come through, the Max Scherzers, the Brandon Webbs, all the other outstanding rookie pitchers that have come through, and I can't name them all, Robbie Ray. Some of those guys have come through, and you went, wow. I mean, he was on last night, but you would have thought there'd been somebody else that might have set the bar several years ago.
I just love, what last name, Bratt. He's a Canadian. So they acquired him last year from the Texas Rangers, if you recall. He was part of that Merrill Kelly trade. And then he, of course, made his debut earlier, but he began the season in AAA Reno. But for what he did last night, that's huge. And how about a lefty?
That's the other thing.
That's another thing that Torrey hasn't had many lefties.
Yeah, and I think that you look at that. What a great game that was for him, because we were sitting there talking about this yesterday. That you got 2 rookies going back to back. Bratt last night. You got Drake tonight, and you had 2 veterans. So you had Mize versus Bratt last night. You got Walker Buehler versus Drake tonight, and how well you had Bratt hold up. I mean, just phenomenal game. And then Drake, can you get the same thing out of him before you get to Merrill Kelly, Fott, Rodriguez, and then repeat the cycle? As far as their rotation is concerned. So if these young men, literally young men, can continue to pitch well, get the run support that they've had, then that's really a huge growing experience. So here's the dilemma. If Bratt, I don't think it's much of a dilemma, but Bratt and Drake continue to throw well. Soroka, I believe, had his last start in Reno yesterday. I think they're looking to bring him up maybe for the Dodgers series. I haven't really said one way or the other with the Dodgers coming in town tomorrow.
Speaking of the Dodgers.
Whoa, man.
I mean, they're
Scuffleupalus.
what, 8 losses in a row, I believe? And, but they did this last year. They lost like 7. And, what they do last year, they got in the World Series and took it again. And here they are going to probably get there again for the 3rd straight year.
You're close. They've lost 6 in a row.
6 it is? Okay.
Yeah, they've lost 6 in a row. I think Laz's Cubbies took care of business big time with those guys. So they're coming in. They've been scuffling really the last 3 weeks, Roc, when you look at it.
So can we rip on Jerry Harrison Jr.
Oh,
tomorrow?
we have to. Absolutely.
They're off tonight, so they're not playing tonight. But they'll come into town and with a losing streak.
Yeah, and it's last time I checked, I don't know if Scooble's
well, in their defense, I mean, it's not like they lost to some bad teams. They lost to an unbelievable Boston team right now, which is having just a tremendous second half of the season, and then they get swept by Cubs, which is a pretty good Cubs team. But
Cubs are hot.
They can afford to lose a bunch of games and still be all right.
Yeah,
I mean, I think if they look at this like, all right, we just got to go through the motions. Let's just get the playoffs, and then we'll turn it on. But I still think they want to get that number 1 seed no matter what.
Yeah, I think they will. I mean, they're
get that bye.
That's the key for them. So they're going to come tomorrow. Kelly will face Sasaki, and then Fott on Saturday will face Yamamoto.
Man, that's a game. That's a game you want to go to the ballpark.
Yes, and then on Sunday, Erod, they don't have anybody scheduled yet on Sunday, that being the Dodgers. So, hey, a 3-game series, big series as far as the Diamondbacks are concerned to pretty much hold serve with the Phillies as far as the 2nd and 3rd spot in the wild card race. I don't think anybody catches the Cubs. They're +5, I think 5.5 right now in the wild card lead. So between the Phillies, the Diamondbacks, and the Padres, I think it's those 3 that'll probably be vying for those 2nd, 3rd spots.
I just came over the wire that the Lions just paid Gibbs. Jeez.
Big bucks?
It's funny how, Jonathan Taylor gets paid. Now Gibbs gets paid, 3 years.
Bijan Robinson got paid.
Yeah, it's like, all these agents are waiting, and then all of a sudden, game on.
Yep.
And 3-year, $67.5 million could go up to $75.75 million, and includes $51.5 million guaranteed.
Yeah, those
WTF. I mean, that just surpassed Bijan's. I mean, he was at 3 years, 66, almost 67.
Right.
But his deal was 51 guaranteed at signing. It's just crazy, these running backs.
And I think
so. Gibbs is now the most. He's the highest paid running back right now.
Yeah, because I think Jeremiah Love was at $54 million guaranteed, and then it was Bijan the other day, and then now Gibbs. And to your point, Roc, once I believe that you looked at Bijan, and then the dominoes started to fall. Taylor went, okay, he'll make about $23 million a year on average, and then right now, if you look at Gibbs, he'll probably make about $27 million per year on average.
You got to give Gibbs and his agent a lot of credit to get that money now, because he's going in this season with a new offensive coordinator by the name of Drew Pensick. Remember that guy?
Yep.
Remember who he is? Are you kidding me? I mean, he's now the Lions OC. I mean, I don't know how that guy got hired.
He's got pictures of skeletons in his closet on somebody. Maybe it's Dan Campbell, the head coach.
3 years here, and what a terrible offense it has been. He gets to go over there, and he needs to try to enhance that run game. Now, granted, you're giving it to a Mercedes every day, but still.
Here's the thing.
I think got paid because Gibbs got paid knowing that he's probably going to have a down year with that offense.
Well, think about that. Look at the money with Jared Goff at quarterback, Gibbs running back, St. Brown at receiver. I mean, they've got a lot of money invested in that offense. So I think that this is the year that the Lions have got to get back to relevancy as far as playoff and deep playoff runs. Because as you recall, once Ben Johnson left, went to the Bears, they lost so much of that ingenuity. Now, he also, as an offensive coordinator, had a lot to work with. So now Campbell took over last year as the offensive coordinator, head coach. Turn it over to Drew Pensing. If Drew Pensing can't make this thing work in Detroit, he can't make anything work. He can't make the 7th grade flag football team work. He can't get this group of players to get to a new level for the offense.
Yeah, Manuch, I just don't.
Big bucks, running backs.
It just seems like every year there's a run on a particular position, and I'm a little interested to see what's going to happen with this running back with Benson and Connor, and of course you got Love. So I mean they are deep.
Well, they are, but you got to remember Connor's he's still hurt. Benson's still hurt. Tonight's game, you only got 2 people. You got Bam Knight, and I think it's Kiner is the only 2 running backs that will be available because Love's out. Algier won't play. Connor's not going to play. Benson is hurt. Mystery. And then you got Bam Knight and one other kid. They only go into tonight's game with 2 running backs that are healthy. And I think they might have picked up one more kid, if I recollect this team as far as coming in. I'll have to pull that back up who they got because I think it's Evan Hull is the list. They got Bam Knight, Corey Kiner, and Evan Hull, if Hull's available in tonight's game. So we'll have to see. If anybody goes down, it'll be all pass. Who's ever a quarterback and have to throw like every other down if you're down to 1 or 2 running backs.
So all right, I gotta get this clear because there's some talk right now with Larry Fitzgerald on why he did not retire. Remember, I mean, for the longest time,
he never has
retired.
No.
So will he be the first guy to go into the Hall that's not officially retired?
Well,
he's officially finished playing football, but he doesn't like calling himself retired. We're going to dive into that. We'll put an audible on the money line. That's next here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from Twin Peaks, Deer Valley, the ultimate sports lodge.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Learn and Rowe, and we've been serving Arizona's for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Learn and Rowe, it's the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers deliver more air for less money. They're rust-free and backed by more than 40 years of experience keeping you cool. Available now online at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Tractor Supply. Ship to the store or right to your door. Visit staycool-products.com. Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube. Get yours today with free shipping and beat the heat. Bigger fields, bigger events, bigger experiences. Arizona Athletic Grounds. Arizona Athletic Grounds is a 275-acre sports and entertainment destination for athletes, fans, and families. Located in Mesa, AAG is one of the largest multi-sport complexes in the country, with over 475,000 square feet indoors and more than 150 fields and courts. From tournaments to training to cheer, dance, concerts, and corporate events, the Grounds does it all. Learn more at azgrounds.com.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
Hi, I'm Kim Holderness.
And I'm Penn Holderness. You don't have to have an amazing race to the doctor, but you should make time for routine cancer screenings.
I schedule my mammogram and other cancer screenings around my birthday and then treat myself to lunch.
I do too, because, of course, everyone likes lunch.
This C word can be scary, but routine screenings can detect cancer before symptoms appear.
And early detection equals better outcomes.
Go to preventcancer.org to find out which cancer screenings you need.
It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Deer Valley, located in the Deer Valley Town Center. Twin Peaks, the home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, Fitz goes in the Hall of Fame Saturday night. Can't first ballot. Nobody's arguing that. But he had a presser today, and the thing that stuck out had nothing to do with football. The man will not say the word retired. 6 years since he played, 2 days from a gold jacket. Somebody asked about retirement, and he goes, retired? What do you mean retired? Now, he said he protests the word more than the actual thing. Now, there's a reason. It goes back to something he overheard as a kid. His grandfather was talking to some longtime Chicago commissioner, and the line that stuck was that retirement kills more people in this country than anything else. So Fitz's version is you don't retire, you transition. You go into a different phase. And I think that lands. It's not just an athlete thing. Guys who fall apart when the game ends. We see it all the time.
Sure.
It's usually not just the money, it's the purpose. You got a schedule your whole life, the locker room, the next Sunday, then one day nobody needs you at 6 a.m, right? Fitz had the next thing built before he even left. Of course, he had the private equity, his ESPN stuff, a piece of the Phoenix Suns. He's got a couple foundations. You don't need 17 years in the league to get it. Anybody out there who sold a business or hit 65 or who got pushed out of something they've done for 30 years, you know exactly what he's talking about. So actually the news out of the presser was, because I don't think a lot of people get that. I mean, he lit it, and he also admitted today, Manuch, that he thought about leaving Arizona. He said it crossed his mind. He said there have been many conversations, but never serious enough to put in motion because he loved where he was. 17 years, one team in this era, that doesn't happen. But you think that's pretty strong. The last thing I'll say from the press conference today, they asked him his favorite memories, from the 17 years, and he's been asked that a lot. He didn't say the 2008 Super Bowl run. He didn't say a catch, didn't say a playoff game. He said folding laundry with equipment guys, and I'm like, really? And this has been a heavy summer for him. He lost his dad, the longtime sports writer up there in Minneapolis. He passed away on June 1st. 71. He was going to be the guy, that was going to be there tomorrow or on Saturday. This kid kind of grew up in a press box, and he appreciated people, right? I mean, so here's where we are. No, there was no announcement, right? There was no farewell tour.
Whatsoever.
There was no podium. No, I'm done. It's great. It's no different than when he scored a touchdown and he gave the football to an official.
It's interesting you bring that up. The only time I ever spiked a football was one time.
Well, you got to get to the end zone.
Yeah, he was there. He spiked it many, but he always gave it.
What about you? You said you only did it once? Or he did it once?
No, I've got too many times. I gave it to the official as well, too.
Oh, shut the front door, man.
The 2 or 3 times I got in the end zone. Yeah, I gave it to the official.
Here's the thing, Manuch. You could say you got in there 100 times, no one would have known.
Yeah, but you're
saying 2 or 3. Got
to be honest with myself, Rock. I got to sleep.
I think an intern in '89 with the Colts, I got in the end zone more than you.
You know what's interesting? They did the big documentary on him, and he said the reason why he spiked that ball is because Devin, his son Devin, who's going to present him, who's at Notre Dame now as wide receiver. Devin that Sunday wanted to go to the mall with his buddies. So he was looking to come home to the game, and he told his dad, hey, I'm going to hang out with my buddies at the mall. And Larry wasn't happy with that. So this happened in the game before the game. So Larry was upset that his son didn't want to come and watch him at the game. And I thought that was so interesting. That's how dialed in he is with his family. Now, the other thing, too, when we had him on at we're at DraftKings, was it about 2 or 3 months ago when they they gave the formal announcement of the 5 individuals going into the Hall of Fame. And we were sitting there kidding him, going, "Hey," I said, "Hey, Larry, you look good. You got a few reps in you," kind of tease him to say, "Would there ever be a comeback?" He's like, "No." I mean, he really didn't say no. He just, "Well, I'd have to lose a lot of weight," on and on and on. He would never admit that he was retired. He didn't say anything about transitioning, though he did here in this presser. But I just think it's so interesting. You're right, Roc. A lot of guys really don't have a lot of stuff to fall back on, like the Larry Fitzgeralds or the Tom Bradys or the Montanas, that have set themselves up in business where they could transition into business. I call it into the real world, into their next, we call it their life's work, if you will. But even then, when you talk about getting up, checking the boxes, having somewhere to go, having to go do this, I'm responsible for that, and all of a sudden it's gone. A lot of guys have a hard time redirecting their energy into setting themselves up to transition into another area in their life and put that behind you. I mean, it's just really hard to put it behind you. And a lot of guys, if they have money left over, should typically be able to transition. Problem is, a lot of guys spend all their money. They need a job quickly. They hold on too long. They got their agents going, "Well, what about the Canadian League, or what about this league or that league?" Which there's nothing wrong with that. But when a guy moves on for good, you got to hope you set yourself up to mentally transition and be secure with who you are moving forward. I mean, it's tough. It's tough for anybody that's in the real world that's worked a job for 30 years.
Yeah, it's a good point, because it is the real world. I have some friends that, have retired. I'm in that pretty close to that age. And unfortunately, they're at the bar every day, and they're in bad shape, and they're having issues, and they miss that grind. They miss being active.
Sure.
And we all see it. You need to be active. And when you get to our age, right?
And they say, have have hobbies, have interests, because I know a lot of guys, to your point, that have gone back to work. I mean, they're doing stuff on the side, but it keeps them busy, keeps them active. And they're like, one guy said, "Look, Dan, I can only play so much golf, go fishing so much, go skiing." He goes, "Day in and day in, I need things to be active. I need to contribute." And I think what happens is guys and gals go, "Okay, I've done all this. I'm retired. What can I do to contribute or to be relevant?" And once you find out you're not relevant anymore, it's like you've been taken out of society. But once you can contribute, whether you go down to St. Vincent de Paul or like our good buddy Bruce Cooper, he's part of St. Vincent de Paul as far as filming at least 3 times a week. And he loves it. And then he's got his other 4 days off to go do other things. But in Larry's case, transitioning, he's got so much going on, so he fills that void.
Hey, there are maybe a handful of people alive who can tell you what actually happens in the Hall of Fame selection room. And one of them will be joining us next, and he joins us every Thursday, and that's Howard Balzer. 44 Super Bowls he's covered. He's a Hall of Fame voter, a guy who's been around Larry Fitzgerald from the beginning. He will join us from Canton on the class, the Hall itself, and on Fitz's career and what it really meant. That's next, but first, here's Laz with our sports update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The D-backs bounced back in a big way last night, beating the Padres 10-4 behind an offensive outburst and 7 stellar innings from rookie Mitch, who picked up his first career Major League win. The Snakes will look to take 3 of 4 from the Padres tonight, with first pitch from Chase Field set for 6:40 p.m. And in football, the NFL preseason is finally here as the Arizona Cardinals take on the Carolina Panthers in the Hall of Fame game from Canton, Ohio. Kickoff is set for 5 o'clock, and you can catch all that action on 98.7 FM, also streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. Football is back tonight, and Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B are live from Twin Peaks, Deer Valley right now until 4. So come hang with us, then stay for the first preseason game of the year for some scratch-made food, wall-to-wall TVs, and those ice-cold 29-degree drafts.
When it's game time in the Valley, you know what time it is. It's Twin Peaks time. Head to Twin Peaks with 5 Valley locations and massive screens everywhere you look. From basketball, baseball, to hockey, fights, and more. There's no better place to catch every play and all the action. Bud Light is a proud partner of sports fans everywhere. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
Looking for a new ride? Make the right choice. Ride Honda in Scottsdale. Whether you're shopping for a fuel-efficient Civic, a family-friendly CRV, the rugged Passport, or the all-new Accord, Ride Honda has the selection, value, and customer service Arizona drivers trust. Plus, their experienced service team is here long after the sale. Visit the showroom on Scottsdale Road just south of Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard or shop anytime at RightHonda.com. That's RightHonda.com, where Arizona drives. Right Honda.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Ball players, legends. One incredible weekend of golf. It's the MLB Retired Players Association Celebrity Classic, September 19th through the 21st at Ocotillo Golf Club in Chandler. Play around paired with an actual MLB player, plus swag, breakfast, and lunch, while raising money for retired players, kids with autism through Music Movement, and ASU baseball scholarships. Foursomes are going fast. Register today at music-movement.org. That's music-movement.org.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
He's been covering the National Football League for close to 50 years. A longtime NFL writer, broadcaster, and co-host of the Pro Football Hall of Fame show on SiriusXM. A Hall of Fame voter, Howard Balzer. Now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
2nd and 10. Warner has to go. Fitzgerald into Steeler territory. 30, 20, 10. Arizona has the lead.
Class of 2026 Canton Hall of Fame. And Howard Balzer joins us every Thursday here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Sports Illustrated USA Today. He's done a little bit of everything. CardsWire. We go on and on and on. Of course, 44 Super Bowls. We mentioned all that. Anything going on today, Howard? You got anything going on today? What are you doing? You anywhere special today?
No, just another quiet Thursday, just trying to figure out what we're going to talk about for the next few minutes.
Yeah. Howard, the Hall of Fame, you're joining us from the press box there. Talk about that stadium, that little small stadium there in Canton. Tell us about it and how it's evolved over the years.
Yeah, that's the thing. It used to be a lot smaller, and they've had some renovations, of course, over the years, especially when they decided to move the enshrinement that used to be on the front steps, basically, of the Hall of Fame, that rotunda little thing that everybody has probably always seen for many, many years. And people in the audience, families and media, would sit at little wooden chairs on the grass, and fans were sitting on the grass to watch the ceremony. And it was pretty close to the highway, running right by, and trucks would be going by and honking. Well, then they decided to move that into the renovated stadium. And so that's been a number of years now. I've lost track of how many it really is, but it really has grown, and the stadium is much bigger, and everything around it with things that they've been building here with an event center and a hotel and a water slide as part of different things. So they've got a lot of stuff going on. on the grounds here at the Hall of Fame. They have restaurants, Hall of Fame villages. It's incredible how much it's changed over the many years that I've been here. And this is the 37th Hall of Fame weekend that I've been at. The 19th doing shows for SiriusXM NFL Radio. And guys, we had the opportunity this afternoon at a press conference with Roger Craig did not participate, but they had a press conference with the other four guys, the modern day guys. And then we were able for Sirius get each one individually. And that's for a show that's actually running right now. And then also will be on Saturday. Let me see what time it is Pacific. It's actually 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Saturday. And really good interviews. Had a great chat, myself and Vic Carucci with Larry Fitzgerald and the other guys. So, yeah, it's incredible how much has been different. But it's still, I mean, it never gets old. You know, coming here year after year and doing interviews with guys and doing these shows. And it's, you know, just a blessing to be able to be involved with this every year.
Yeah, Howard, Roc just saw the release that Larry Fitzgerald's not retired. He's transitioning. That seemed to get a lot of attention here the last 15 or 20 minutes.
Well, you know what's funny about that? That's come up because I don't know how many times, guys, that I was asked after Larry wasn't playing anymore, is this pushing back his Hall of Fame clock? Don't you have to announce that you're retired and all that? And I always said, no, it's just when you stop playing. You don't have to announce your retirement. And one of the aspects of that is if you're under contract with a team when you decide to retire, well, then there's a process. And the team either releases you or puts you on reserve retired. So there's an official aspect of that. When you're a free agent, you don't have to announce anything because you're not under contract to anybody. So the number of times I was asked that over the years by fans, by media, over these last 5 years, it's been amazing. And so now it's like, as he's always said, and he said that. He says, well, I never really retired. I transitioned to another life. Well, he retired from pro football, but he just didn't want to make, a big deal of it. I remember when I was in St. Louis, Aeneas Williams, the former Cardinal, did the same thing. He just decided not to play 1 year, and he never announced his retirement. And that was just the way that he chose to do it. But he became, after a year, so very incredibly active in the community, which he already had been before.
So the process, Howard Balzer joining us here on ESPN Radio Phoenix, the process of the Hall itself. You've been in the room. What's the thing about this selection process that people on the outside maybe consistently get wrong?
Well, one of the reasons they get it wrong is because it changes so much. And that's the thing. So the changes that they make a lot of times aren't realized by a lot of people. In fact, I was talking to a Hall of Famer today that I knew from St. Louis, Jackie Slater, who played 20 years in the NFL with the Rams in Los Angeles and then in St. Louis. And I ran into him today. I hadn't seen him in a couple of years, and we were just talking. And he says, what do you think of the Hall of Fame and all that? This is a great class, but it's the process that has a lot of people confused. And he says, well, explain that process to me. I mean, he didn't even know how the process had changed, especially in the last 2 years, where we've had smaller classes. I mean, most of the years up into that, you have 5 modern-day guys, and then 2 or 3 seniors and a coach and a contributor, and you had some pretty big classes. Now, last year they only had 4 going in, 3 modern-day guys and 1 seniors player. This year, 4 modern-day guys and 1 seniors player. So that's a big part of the process that has changed for what got to this in terms of how we vote when it gets towards when we're voting, after all the discussions. And a lot of us aren't happy with it. The Hall apparently is going to make some announcements later this month, possibly some changes to the to the process again, but none of us on the selection committee have any idea what that might be.
Howard, you talk to these Hall of Famers. You just talked about your radio show. And when you talk to them, have you ever figured out, at least in your eyes, with questions, somewhat the commonality with these individuals? I mean, is there something there? And if there is, if you're speaking to a group of young football players, what message would you relay to them about these Hall of Famers you come across year in and year out?
It's a great question. And when you think of it's estimated there's been 20,000 players that have played at least a game in the NFL. And I think there's only about 325 players in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And obviously many others who have been considered who also had excellent careers, but just haven't gotten that far. And I think the one common thing among all successful players is the work ethic, the attention to detail, trying to improve every day to be better today than you were yesterday. and always be on that path to improvement, being good team players and all those things. So that's what I would say. And I know I've talked to Hall of Famers who say that. That's what they say to younger people when they go to speaker or they talk to an individual or to a group. They say it's a heck of a long shot to get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But to even be considered and get into that, whether it's making all-pro teams or anything like that, you just got to be totally attuned to the work. And I think also, guys, you have to love football. You'll hear a lot of GMs and a lot of people talk sometimes. They'll get guys that, okay, they're good at the game, they're athletic, they're this, they're that, but they really don't have the passion for the game. A lot of them are playing it because that's what they've done for a long time, and they can make good money at it if they're pretty good. I think the ones who really advance to those next levels are the ones that truly, truly love the game of football and will give just about anything to be as good as they can be.
Howard, Adam Vinatieri, a kicker. Walk us through. I know Manuch always makes fun of kickers, and I don't understand why. He was a holder. It's just the same. Why is it that, you get a bunch of people in a room and they don't want to vote for kickers? You think that's changed over the years?
Well, it's changed a little bit. I mean, for the longest time, Jan Stenerud, who we interviewed on the on the show today, who, by the way, was born in Norway, was a skier and a soccer player growing up, didn't even play football till his senior year in college. When someone asked him, hey, why don't you try to kick the ball and see what happens? Because he had played soccer earlier. And he ends up being a Hall of Famer. But up until Morton Anderson several years ago, there had never been a pure Stenerud was the only pure kicker to ever get in. And then Morton Anderson did. Now Vinatieri is in. But I think he just really has to be head and shoulders above so many others. Because what it comes down to is, as important as kickers are, I mean, heck, they're not on the field for that many plays. When you start voting and you're comparing, a kicker to, guys that play 50, 60, more than that plays a game on offense and defense. And it's tough then to make the case, we should put a kicker in. But so it's changing to a degree. How much it will change over the year, over the coming years, who's to say? But I think, like I said, you have to be really at the top of your game, and be one of the best, not only at the time you're playing, but the best ever, to be able to, to get into the Hall. And certainly Vinatieri with the clutch picks and all that. It was interesting, guys. We interviewed Warren Sapp today, and I was trying to get out of him, what do defensive players, what do teammates think of the kickers, who don't practice? They're on a separate field. They're really not part of the grind that everybody else does. So I was trying to get him to say that. And he says, well, let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you this about football. He says, great offense sells tickets. Great defense wins games. Kickers win championships. And so I thought that was pretty interesting coming from a defensive tackle. And sometimes they can. That kick at the end of the game, like Vinatieri did several times. But it's got to be a great team, obviously, to be even in position to have that kick, enable you to win a game late. But it's, it is the ultimate team sport. And I think that's the thing that the Hall of Fame really recognizes, obviously, in all the different players, because you have players through all the different positions. I mean, what do we have this year? A wide receiver, a linebacker, a running back, a kicker, and who am I forgetting?
Quarterback,
of course, and Drew Brees, obviously. So, that's, several different positions that are represented. And for the winning teams, you better have great players at every position, but certainly some real good ones who sacrifice for the team if you're going to be successful.
Howard, you've interviewed so many. And speaking of Warren Sapp, who are some of the maybe two or three most unique Hall of Famers you've come across, and why?
The most unique. I'll say Warren Sapp for, he's one to a degree because this is a guy, he came into the league with some marks against him. There had been some talk about some, marijuana use in college, and he started slipping in the first round, and Tampa Bay got him at the middle of the first round. And he was a guy that really didn't like the media at all. I'm sure a lot of that grew from things that were said and written when he was coming into the league. Now he's about as gregarious as anybody can be. I mean, the guy's just hilarious to listen to an interview. It's just, it's just a treat. So he is certainly not only just a unique player, but a unique person, individual in terms of his, personality, the way he's developed, over the years. But man, there's just, I could come up with so many guys, but there's not, a whole bunch that really, jump into my mind. And so many of them are so, unique, right? Whether it's a Dan Marino, who sometimes I don't think gets his just due as a quarterback, mainly because the teams he played on weren't championship level. And he might be one of the best passers, pure passers that I've ever witnessed in my 50 years of watching pro football. And his passing is tremendous, but he only gets to one, and they don't win, and never a Super Bowl after that. But that guy, I think, was really unique in what he was able to do on the field.
I think the other thing too is I think of all the stories that you talk about, report about. I mean, I think of John Randall as a great story. I think of Terrell Davis as two great stories that were basically, all right, if you can play special teams, make the team, the rest is gravy, and how they took advantage of that.
Good calls on that, because Davis, what was he, a 6th-round pick, I think?
Yes.
And John Randall was undrafted. And yeah, I remember especially the special team stories with Davis. He knew that he had to do some things on special teams just to get the coaches to notice him, just to be able to make the roster. And then that's the thing about it. I mean, certainly, Kurt Warner, obviously, with what he did with the Cardinals, what he did with the Rams, there's a uniqueness to that. And his whole story might be one of the greatest stories in all sports that have come down the pike in the last number of decades, because of playing arena football and virtually never getting a chance in the NFL, and then almost never getting another one. And so it's there's so many great journeys. I mean, hey, look at Drew Brees, right?
Yeah.
Miami wanted him. Nick Saban wanted him. Wouldn't pass him in his physical. And then the Saints jump in, and Sean Payton decides, hey, we're rolling the dice on this guy. That might have been the best thing that ever happened to Drew Brees, to be matched up with Sean Payton and that offensive mind. So, like I said, there's so many different journeys, so many different stories, and it's great to be able to be a part of that and talk about them so often. I'll tell you a quick one, guys, before we go, and make sure I want to get this in. Yesterday I get to the airport, come to Canton, and there's no shortage. I mean, everywhere I turn, there's fans with Cardinals T-shirts and number 11 jerseys, right? I get on the plane, and it's getting ready to leave the gate, and the flight attendant gets on and says, I understand that a lot of you people are probably going to Canton to see the induction of Larry Fitzgerald. So how about, and everybody cheers, how about if everybody gives a little Larry chant? And all of a sudden she leaves, Larry.
Nice.
So it was pretty cool. I told us about that today, and because we were talking about just in the community. I mean, how rare it is, guys, for a player not only to play 17 seasons, but to do it all with one team, and a team that, quite frankly, obviously wasn't very good for a lot of those years. And so we talked about that, his impact on the community, the impact the community has had on him, and he's always said that's as important to me as what I accomplished on the field, and that's one of the great things, obviously, about Larry Fitzgerald.
Real quick, before we let you go, Howard, how long do you think Carson Beck will go tonight?
I'm sorry, how long what?
Carson Beck will play tonight.
Oh, yeah, it's a good question. I mean, because obviously he's not going to be playing with any of the top guys on the roster. So I'm sure what the coaches are going to be looking for is the operation, getting in and out of the huddle, obviously calling the plays. Hopefully it's not sloppy with false starts and things like that. It's hard to predict how effective the offense is going to be when it's mostly backups, deep backups that are going to be playing in this game. Of course, they're going to be going against backups of the Panthers for the most part. So it kind of evens out that way. But it's not like Carson Beck is getting out there with Michael Wilson and Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison Jr. and the starting offensive line and all those different guys. So but like I said, I think what everyone's looking for is just that he looks composed, he looks poised, he doesn't seem overwhelmed by the moment, and that he equips himself well in a tough environment for a game like this. With, like I said, so many deep backups on the field for virtually all of the.
Howard, thank you, buddy. Always, man. We love when you're on the road. When are you typically on doing the SiriusXM stuff?
Well, like I said, we taped a bunch of interviews today. We have most of them done. We might do a few more tomorrow. The one show is actually on now, I believe, on Sirius, but I think they might rerun it later in the night. And then Saturday morning with Vic Carucci, who's also a selector, we do the show live. Basically, all we do is pitch to interviews during the show with the ones we did, and the 4 interviews with Breeze and Fitzgerald and Vinatieri and Kuechly were, if I say so myself, they were really outstanding. And so that's again 9 a.m. to noon, right before the the enshrinement starts. And I'm sure they'll probably run that show again at some point.
Yeah.
So those who have Sirius, it's a great place to hear some of these interviews and hear our talks with the guys.
Do us a favor, Howard. Vic Carucci used to be a regular guest of ours, a Buffalo guy, Cleveland ties, all that stuff. We tell him we said hello. We would love to get him back on our airways again. It's been about 20 years. So please tell him we said hello.
Yeah, I definitely will do that. I've been doing this show with Vic now for at least a decade. I used to do them a lot of times with the late Gil Brandt, which was always a treat. And so, yeah, this sojourn that I was coming here, many years before I started the Sirius in 2007, but haven't missed one then, except for the one everybody missed in 2020 during the pandemic. Yeah. But it's been great to be able to do this and do these shows with Vic every year here in Canton.
Well, we'll be listening, buddy. Thanks for the time, buddy. We'll talk to you next week. Can't wait to get a recap on this weekend for you. So thanks so much for the time.
Sounds good, guys. Take care.
That's Howard Balzer at HBalzer721, of course, Hall of Fame voter, part of SiriusXM NFL Radio as well. And he is driven by Wright Honda in Scottsdale. Huge selection, no games, no pressure, sales, service, parts, all under one roof. You can shop the whole lot at WrightHonda.com. All right, Tyler Drake was with us earlier in the show also from Canton, and he will join us. We will at least bring him back with our Lerner Row 1 call as he talks about Carson Beck and the Hall of Fame game tonight. That's coming up as we continue from Twin Peaks, Deer Valley. Twin Peaks, your ultimate sports lodge.
Living in the Valley of the Sun means we're always battling the heat on the golf course, at work, or just getting through the day. To stay sharp, you need more than energy. You need hydration. You need Phoenix Hydration Energy, spelled Phoenix, like the city we love. Phoenix gives you clean, natural energy from green tea, plus 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. No crash, no junk, just pure performance. Grab Phoenix Hydration Energy today at 7-Eleven, Quick Trip, or Circle K. Phoenix Hydration Energy. Rise up.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Being in an auto accident is traumatic. You need to call the best law firm that has the experience to get you the best results. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
When it comes to your roof, you don't want to mess around. And Arizona homeowners and business owners have known that for over a decade. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer. Residential, commercial, they do it all. And they've been doing it right here in the Valley for over 10 years. Protect your home, protect your business. And hey, keep your roof sexy with the State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509. State 48 Roofing, Arizona's most trusted roof.
When it's game time in the Valley, you know what time it is. It's Twin Peaks time. Head to Twin Peaks with 5 Valley locations and massive screens everywhere you look. From basketball, baseball, to hockey, fights, and more, there's no better place to catch every play and all the action. Bud Light is a proud partner of sports fans everywhere. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, scenic views.
Meth and cocaine are dangerous drugs. They don't have to be mixed with fentanyl to be deadly. In Arizona, deaths involving stimulants like meth and cocaine are rising. Both are highly addictive, and there is no medication that can reverse an overdose. Instead of thinking, it can't happen to me or my loved ones, get informed, recognize the warning signs, understand the risks, and know that help is available. Learn more at thenewmeth.com, sponsored by the Substance Awareness Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Playing online games in Arizona? Verify you're using a legal app or site by visiting gaming.az.gov/check-your-bet. Look out for games that take your deposits and let you play, but prevent you from winning or withdrawing money. If you suspect illegal activity in Arizona, report it at gaming.az.gov. Together, we can keep gaming safe and fair. For 24/7 problem gambling support, text NEXT STEP to 53342, sponsored by the Arizona Department of Gaming.
It's It's the Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
Honestly, I think for me, the one person I wanted to see take the field tonight was Carson Beck, and he got the start. I wanted him to get the start. I think if anybody's going to benefit this preseason, it's going to be him the most. Just getting those reps in. Yes, it's preseason. Yes, you're not scheming. Yes, it's vanilla, but you're still getting the reps in. You're still getting play in, play out. You're still getting your cadence down. You're still getting in and out of the huddle. He's got to nail down the little things as much as he can before we get to the live bullets in the regular season. So that's really where I start. It's the guys that absolutely need it. Does Jeremiah Love need a series? Probably, but not until probably the last game of preseason or somewhere down the line. Again, this is a bonus game. So I think it is more so hey, let's treat it as a scrimmage. Let's get through with no injuries and really keep going because there's still, it's kind of weird now because it's a full season back in the day, but there's still 3 games to play after this. So it'll be interesting. But yeah, I start with Carson Beck. The more he can play this preseason, the better. Give him a half of football every game. That's my take.
That's Tyler Drake on Carson Beck, as you just heard. He joined us from Canton in the 1 o'clock hour. If you want to hear that, you can just download the Arizona Sports app. Hear that entire interview with Tyler Drake from Arizona Sports. As they got pregame coverage going on right now with the game starting at 5. But our Lerner Rowe one call is brought to you by, of course, Lerner Rowe. If you've been injured in an accident, don't try to handle it alone. Lerner Rowe has been voted Arizona's best personal injury law firm year after year. Interact, need a check, make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. Of course, tonight we're out here at Twin Peaks, Deer Valley. So we are getting ready for football season. We're excited. And this year, probably one of our biggest years ever when you look at what we're going to be doing. Every Monday night, we'll be at Biggs in Peoria. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, we're at Wright Honda, Wright Toyota. And then Thursday, we're always at a Twin Peaks. And then doing something different this year, DraftKings, TPC Scottsdale on Fridays. And we're doing something unique that if you come down to join us on a Friday between 1 and 4, we're going to have 21 envelopes. And in those envelopes are cash. Could be a $5 bill, could be a $10 bill, could be a 20, could be a 50, could be a 100. Maybe even a $2 if I can find one. And it's the first 21 people that come down every Friday. And we will do that for a couple weeks. Actually, for a couple months, I should say. And each week you come down, if you're one of the 21, you also can enter to win my cash. I'm putting up $100 of my own money every Friday. And you're going to try to get Roc's cash. And we're going to do 2 college games, 2 pro games, and then 1 Monday night game, or the Monday night game with the score. And whoever gets the closest will win that money. If not, it'll carry over. It'll just keep bigger and bigger. And then if you can't join us, we're going to do a $100 gift card, the same kind of game, a game of the week with DraftKings. So really excited. DraftKings, TPC Scottsdale. That'll be our Friday home for this upcoming football season. And then we're doing something called the Arizona College Football Hour. We're going to have Charlie Regal with us. We're going to have Coach Brennan with us. We're going to have Coach Mons with us. We're going to have Coach Sanders from NAU, Brian Wright. It's going to be an incredible hour of college football from 1 to 2 from DraftKings.
Can't wait, Roc.
Football season is here.
Time of year.
And, of course, no better place to watch all the games, of course, is at any of the 5 Twin Peaks locations. Twin Peaks, your ultimate sports lodge.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices